Hi, hello, and welcome to the library. I hope that you are doing alright today. We are indeed playing like Trials and of Innocence, case 3, the case that never ends. Many such cases. I mean, like, after, in Ace Attorney investigation, the 5th case, I think, is like 6 or 7 hour long. I think the perceived time is like 15 hours, or maybe more, maybe 20 hours. Because you do the same thing again and again and again, and it's just like so long. Which is very unfortunate because it's not a bad case on paper. But yeah. This is our last day of streaming before my break. And I made a very interesting choice of playing Trials of Innocence, knowing that we will probably not finish the 3rd case and that we will need to come back to it, and it will take like, I don't know, we won't be playing the game for like 2 weeks, and most of the details I think will slip up from my mind, but that is kind of like, I guess, the joy of streaming those type of games. But yeah, speaking of Trials of Innocence, there's like a funny, it's not really funny, but you know what I mean, a thing that happened a few days ago, I think 2 days ago. If you have been following a little bit what is going on the gaming space, you may have seen that a lot of games have been delisted from Steam in like a massive wave 2 days ago. And the reason for most of it is that Visa and MasterCard are basically like banning some content. They are like, we don't want to be used on platforms that showcase this and this kind of things. And Steam has been, did ban and removed a lot of things in the store. And obviously we can talk a little bit about that, but it's not a good thing, right? I don't know, credit cards and credit agency, they should not be able to make the decision of what should be sold or not. And we know on the internet how it's going. It's like, yes, we are suppressing pornography, but the end game is to suppress like more things under this like very big umbrella. And we know that like one of the key content being targeted by those bans are LGBT content. Because you could argue, they will argue that like 2 men or 2 women kissing is pornography. This is not good. We don't want that, and like you have to remove it from your platform. And that has been like a situation in Japan for quite a while. Like it's hard nowadays to get access to certain type of content just because they have been removed from a lot of like Japanese stores. And we are seeing the same thing in the West, and we have been seeing the same thing like with Steam 2 days ago. And this is just, not going in a very good direction overall. But why am I talking about that? Because Trials of Innocence has been delisted from Steam also. It doesn't seem to be linked to Visa and MasterCard ban. It seems that it was DMCA by we don't know who. And this is quite like, upsetting. To some degree, because I don't really see who would do like a DMCA on the game. I really do not believe that it is like Capcom, even if the game like is Ace Attorney inspired. But it's a weird situation. So right now you cannot buy Trials of Innocence, which is very unfortunate because I think like it is one of those like very good Ace Attorney inspired games. But yeah, hopefully the situation will be resolved like at some point, but we just don't know yet. The classic queer content is inherently sexual. I mean, it's a conversation that, you know, we can have like at every stream, I think, because it's such an upsetting situation. It's like Puritanism is again like used as a way like to target certain things, and we just live like in a world where the easiest thing you could say, you know, about queer people is that it is like over-sexual and stuff like this, and that we need to protect our children. And it's like, yeah, I mean, you don't need me like to talk about that. Like everybody knows, you know, what we think about this sort of like rhetoric, and I think it's just like, it's just a sad time. It's just a sad time. Will things change at some point? It's hard to say. I would say that it's quite hard to say, just because we fight against like, you know, entire structures. So things will go bad like for a while, I think, but the will of the people will prevail at some point, I believe. It's just a difficult, like, yeah, a difficult period, I guess. But I don't know. I think like we overall share the same opinion, you know, on the broad outline. I think if you are like watching this stream, you probably have like similar opinions as I do when it comes like to those topics. So yeah. Do I have other things I want to say? No, I was just very busy this morning. Had to do many things, and I'm again still like a bit running late on certain projects. I have also to do a few things, like need to go like to the pharmacy to get some medicine, and hopefully I can do that like later after stream, but I'm expecting that I will not. So I'll just go tomorrow, I guess. We've seen worse, we will persevere. It is true. I mean, we don't really have a choice, right? So yeah. I've seen like things on Blue Sky, but I can't remember what exactly. Let me check what I've liked. No, I can't remember. I cannot remember. I think it's like, yeah, I mean, there was like a whole that I was quite interested in that, because you have like election cycle in Japan right now, but I think like it's a bit too deep for us to go into that topic right now. Probably I should avoid it. But yeah, that was basically it. A very studious day, as always, for Miyabi. Okay, so because I don't have like anything more to say, let's transition into the game scene, and it is working. Marvelous. Wait, there's something I need to do like first. You need to make sure that Zoe doesn't get convicted. I mean, we survived the first day of trial, barely, to a point where I'm like, I wish we started to, you know, explore other questions, because we still don't have any idea of how the murder like occurred. But I think we are like in a good position, because it's investigation time. So let's continue. We talked to you, right? We know that we just need to go there and we need to understand how the crime happened. Okay, so let's move to the detention center first, I guess, because I just don't have a choice. The detention center is quiet this time. I thought we'd hear the guards' noise again. Very sad, like, soundtrack, by the way. Very close to, like, the, incident flashback soundtracks in Ace Attorney. Miss Sapphire seems lost in thought over there. Huh? Miss Sapphire? Seriously, did she just sigh? Is she starting to feel down for being locked up? Oh, you're here. Let me tell you, the drama I'm following has its grand finale tonight. I tried flipping through channels during recreation time, but I didn't find a channel. It's driving me nuts. I think she's just that crazy. Anyway, I can catch up online after being released with your help. Miss Sapphire trusts us as well. You bet. I told you before, with Miss Lawyer here, winning is a breeze. I mean, it's a breeze for you because you're literally doing nothing. You can absolutely give that procureur a beating with evidence tomorrow. If I did that, the judge would kick me out. Actually, Miss Sapphire, we come here to ask you about the research center. I've only been there for a month, so I don't know much, but feel free to ask anything. You really messed things up for me in court today. Was it my fault? Well, of course it was. If you hadn't left out so much crucial information, I wouldn't have been so passive the whole time. Oh, calm down. Anyway, we got through. So it's not a big deal, I guess, right? Well, whatever, you wouldn't care even if the moon falls. Well, by the way, I've learned a lot today. The courtroom turns out to be such a cool place. Is that dead-eyed prosecutor a pea shooter? His verbal barrage is swift and fierce. Pea shooter is a very, very weird way of saying, of saying that. How would you translate that, like, in English in a more natural way? Spitting bars. Pea shooter, that's pretty accurate. But you fired back at him. It's even more impressive. That booming volume, I'm seriously impressed to the core. Compliment or not, for our sake, you cannot hide any information from us today. I got lectured by Annie. Alright, I get it. Spitting peas. Very true. Makes me think of, I saw like, I did not watch it, but I saw like on my timeline a speedrun of like Plant vs. Zombie, and I think like shooting peas, it really makes me think of that. Okay, what did you do on the day of the incident? Today we came to you mainly to get more information about the research center. Please tell us everything. No problem. I'll be an open book even if it's just for my dramas. What is she talking about? Remily White. So, about today's witness, Remily White, what can you tell us? So you finally brought her up. Why do you seem always so hesitant to talk about her? Well, isn't it obvious? She has a sad past. Even though her memory is like that, the dead-eye prosecutor still brought her up to testify. I really wonder what he is up to. I mean, she testified against you in court, but you don't seem to hate her. Well, why should I? She just spoke out what she saw, and I was already very suspicious. Can I blame her for that? +2. I'm glad you're aware of your own situation. Well, actually, what I want to ask is, does everyone in the center know about the situation of Miss White's memory? Even an intern like me knows about it. The others must know too. Even though she's involved in a top-secret project, everyone still encounters her in the center. It'd be very inconvenient if we were not informed beforehand. For example, Remily has to relearn who we are every week. That's very weird enough. You're right, it would be inconvenient not to inform you all about the situation. It is my ultimate attack. I mean, it's kind of like what is happening in like Ace Attorney at some point. It's like throwing wigs, throwing like burning cups of coffee, whipping up, people. Just things that are happening in court. I think it's like within the rules of engagement. So everyone in the center can be the suspect. Who do you think could have torn off her diary? Well, let me think about it. Let me think. I got nothing. Not surprised at all. There are so many people in that project. How would I know who it could be? How about you give me her diary and let me take a look? Maybe I can remember something. It feels like her eyes light up when the diary is mentioned. This is really a good idea. I mean, we don't have a choice, de sure. Here it is. There is bulletproof glass, so I can't pass over. I can just flip through it behind the window. Finally, I have a chance to read it. You are crazy, a crazy girl. You should not be allowed, I think, to live an adult existence, probably. What are you so excited about? Let me see. October the 14th. Zoe broke the spectrometer and got scolded by the director. Zoe spilled coffee on the microscope and got scolded by the director. I mean, you're literally like, destroying valuable equipment. So I kind of understand the director being kind of... It's a very smooth animation. Kind of like mad about you. She saw me. Well, I hope you won't do that. Don't destroy scientific equipment, please. Zoe got her clothes caught in the lathe during an experiment, and the director called her a silly girl. A silly girl. Why is my part like this? No wonder she thinks no one will marry me. I mean, for the greater good. Well, you can't really blame her for thinking that way. Well, in the part about the day of the incident, it mentions the deputy director, that martial arts enthusiast, and me. Oh yeah, okay, I thought it was the same person, but no. Martial arts enthusiast, you mean the master swording mentioned in the diary? Yeah, that's him. He's the #1 weirdo in the center. Swording Grey. What? There's someone in the center even weirder than you? Well, can you please keep those words to yourself? I mean, can you tell me more about this Swording Grey? Well, what do you want to know? Is this Swording Grey a real name? That's right, Swording the first name and Grey the last name. That's a really strange first name. Well, you never know, it's definitely the most ridiculous name I've ever heard. Well, it's a bit odd, but I wouldn't call it ridiculous. Do you have a bad relationship with him? Well, of course, he's always babbling about, and I don't understand what he's thinking at all. In his 30s, he's still soaked in martial arts fantasy, toting a wooden sword and secret scripture, prattling nonsensical jargon. So bro is just like a wuxia enthusiast and cannot stop talking about that. It's like... I don't know. Is that like worse or not than like people in their 30s that are into like heroic fantasy and just, talking about, about that like, every day. I don't know. I have such a weird opinion on like heroic fantasy because I don't think it's bad. But it's kind of like the situation where, because of the community, I'm like, yeah, I will not be able to enjoy heroic fantasy ever again in my life. Cultivation maxing. We should play a Chinese RPG at some point. As a brain expert, why doesn't he check out his own brain? +2, to be fair, +2. Someone carrying a wooden sword and a secret scripture. I think I saw him yesterday, yeah, at the very beginning of day 1. How long has this researcher been working here? I heard he was specifically transferred here to join Remily's project. It's been about 6 years. So I see, he's a senior figure. I have another question. Does this brain expert specialize in treating robots' brains? Absolutely not. Robots' brains are artificial electronic cores. They don't need him at all. His responsibility is to study Remily's condition and then collaborate with Mr. Goldstein to develop new technologies. Like 100%, like Goldstein has to be the killer, right? I mean, I would be surprised if like the killer is this like sword master. That's not my field, so I don't really understand, and it's confidential, so I shouldn't tell you anything. But you already did. What exactly is the project about? I'm starting to be curious. Well, anyway, I cannot stand this martial arts weirdo at all. I mean, it's true, like cultivation is a bit different, but like if you are like so deep into martial arts, get a life, probably. Like yeah, you know, especially if like you're not like, you know, a very high level practitioner and you just like RPing martial arts, do other things. I don't know why I feel so dismissive like today. He speaks in an annoying way and always asks me to run errands. Even on the day of the incident, I ran for him twice. Very interesting. Twice. The day of the incident, you're still hiding something from me. No, it was just some trivial tasks, not worth mentioning. Everything that happened on the day of the incident might be related to the case. Please tell me everything. At noon on the day of the incident, I was taking a nap in the stockroom, and suddenly I was woken up by a call from that weirdo. A call from a cell phone. No, it was an internal phone. Each room has one. He asked me to help prepare some experimental materials, so I went to see him. He gave me 2 trays of different materials and asked me to deliver them to the corresponding labs. That morning, I made a super tiny mistake and got scolded by the director. So after putting them down, I double-checked to make sure I wouldn't make any mistakes. How was that? I was pretty careful with my work, wasn't I? Well, not until you stop making that super tiny mistake. What materials did he ask you to prepare and where did you send them? Let me think. 1 tray filled with non-metallic graphite cable resistant to magnetism was sent to the biochemical laboratory, so that's what we found here. The other tray seemed to be an electrolyte solution commonly used in cranial nerve experiments for the electromagnetic laboratory. This arrangement seems a bit odd, but since he requested it, I just went along with it. Why do you think it's odd? Well, I'm no expert on brainwave experiments, but the graphite cable is definitely used in electromagnetic experiments, while he asked me to stand in the biochemical laboratory. Okay, so is that a situation where... So that normally should be used for electromagnetic things. And have been sent like down. Is there a situation where she's already thinking? Because the rooms, like the floors have the same pattern, right? And those rooms are located at the same place. Can it be a situation where somebody tried to swap the 2 rooms? And that's why she would send that like in the biochemical laboratory to make it look as if it was like the electromagnetic laboratory. The problem is you need to take the elevator for that. So why would you like make a mistake between like 2 different floors? Because it's not like a building of like, 50 floors. It's literally like 3 floors. And what would be the point of doing that? It would allow you perhaps to like swap the position of the body, but like, wait. Where did she find like the corpse? She said that it was the entrance of like the stockroom, but like, is it like inside the stockroom or outside? Because it's making things slightly different. Maybe she thought she was on the 3rd floor and she was in fact like in the 2nd floor. I don't know. We need more information. 2 sets of experimental materials were sent to the wrong places. If a wire makes a difference between the biochem and electrolab, those labs are completely bare. I mean, to be fair, it might be like the case, right? Or one of the things it can be, it's like... But we don't have like other robots. Like, where is she? Eh? Oh, we don't have the robot? Whatever. But you could like argue that it's like a scan situation. Like maybe, you know, I don't know. We need to progress. As an art student, handling this type of clue is quite challenging. Let me take it down for now. Mr. Fire, I remember you mentioning earlier that the researcher made you run errands twice. What about the second time? Your memory is impressive. It was like literally 2 seconds ago. That was around 4 PM in the afternoon, where there was a sudden blackout in the center. I was just reading a romance novel on my phone when the weirdo called me again. Mr. Goldstein mentioned the blackout before. Why did he ask you to do this time? What did he ask you to do this time? The voltage is unstable, so blackouts are common here. He was too lazy to go turn on the circuit breaker, so he asked me to do it. When the court asked you to testify what you did after leaving the stock room, you said you forgot. So you left to turn the circuit breaker. Is that so? Yes, it is. How did you even manage to get a PhD from Harvard University? I hung up the phone and went straight to the central control room on the same floor. When I opened the electrical box, sure enough, the breaker had tripped, so I turned it on. Just at that moment, there was an incredibly heavy rainstorm outside, and I stared at the window for a while. And then, when you returned to the stockroom, you discovered the director's body. Bingo, that's it. Okay, so no, she really found the thing in like the... So if there's a swap, if rooms are swapped, it's not to mislead. It's not to mislead Zoe. It's to mislead somebody else. Huh. So she really brought like the corpse to the second floor through the elevator. But delivering the wrong experimental material seems a bit suspicious. Those sorting grey often stay in the center. What's up, looking for him? Anyway, Remily lives in the center, so if you find Remily, he will probably be here. This researcher sounds like a bodyguard for Miss White. Indeed, we need to meet him later. Mr. Fire, you're sure there's nothing else you are hiding from me, right? Positively, absolutely, and definitively sure. I've already told you everything. I don't remember. She's crazy. Actually, I brought some tea bags and asked the security guards to take them to you. Before we win the case, Mr. Fire, please take good care of yourself. Whoa. What's wrong with you? Nothing, you two are just too kind to me. How can I ever repay? Tell the truth. It's what we should do anyway. She may be unreliable, but she's still a kind person. Many such cases. Is it a right choice? It's a right choice to take on this case, I guess. I mean, it is. Okay, we need to get to the research center. Please stay calm and wait for tomorrow's outcome. No problem, I will take care of the detention center. What are you taking care of? That's the guard's job. Time is limited. We should go to this research center now. Okay. Oops. Move. The vibe here is totally different from yesterday. Yeah, clear sky. It was all gloomy yesterday, but it's sunny today. In today's trial, Prosecutor Schubert mentioned there's a deep pit behind the building. They suspect it to be the crime scene. We didn't check it out yesterday. Yeah, I remember when we looked down from the stockroom, there was a spot covered with a plastic sheet. Is that so? I had no recollection. There's no sign of Detective Sanford's crew outside the center this time. While no one's around, let's take a look near the pit. The whole place is taped off by the police, so difficult to get in. Watch your step, says Luna. Seems like it's empty beneath the plastic sheet. Really, honto. Oh my god, such a big hole, by the way. Is it because of the case? No one's guarding here. That was close. I almost became the second Director Crimson. I think like 6 meters deep or something like that. I'm afraid you're dying. Just as I thought, this pit's filled with warm, moist clay soil. Good, I know you won't get it wrong. Let's make the most of our time and investigation. The suspected crime scene. Okay, but the problem is like, how can you even like, if the fall happened here, how are you fishing the corpse out of this? You can see the window of the 3rd floor stockroom here. I just don't think like anybody fell in this pit. Fishing rod, of course, silly me, Abby. You need to have a crazy amount of strength to do so. From the height of the 3rd floor, it could indeed create a 15-meter drop. Given the autopsy and luminol reactions in the pit, it is reasonable to think the victim fell here. What do you mean? What do you mean the luminol reactions? This conclusion raises more doubts. Does the police investigation really miss nothing? What's that eye-catching thing down there? It looks like a piece of clothing soaked in water at the bottom with a bit of red on it. Could it be blood stains? Let's not talk about blood stain. It's important. Wait, Luna Chatier, let me try to get it. How is she? She pulled out a long stretch of police tape and tied it to an iron hook she found at the construction site. This young girl is a bit too OP, I think. Watch this. She's literally fishing. It worked. Oh wait, it's the metal jacket from... You village folks are really something. What exactly is that? Twitch is still recommending me bloodstain content. I'm sorry. It was a mistake. I mean, I'm still playing the game. I mean, I've not played the game like again, but like I'm at the middle of the game and you know, it's slightly better than what we did. But I'm playing with a guide and like a Metroidvania game when you need to farm is just crazy. Like the game is okay because you need to farm a lot. So it's not good, but like I kind of see what the game is trying to do. It's just not a very good idea. This fabric seems like a bit of silk and steel wire, and those marks on it are definitely blood stains. Could it be? It's a metal vest that went missing at the crime scene. I thought it would look like more like armor. It's a protective gear for experiments, not for combat. The lighter the better. Why would a blood-stained metal vest appear here? What do you mean by blood-stained? That's kind of like the problem. Is it like inside or outside of like the vest? Because you could argue that like the director was crushed while wearing that. I think we're good with this pit. Yes, this metal vest is quite the find. We're done with the outside, let's go inside. Let's move inside. Police from the investigation unit are all over here. Looks like Detective Sanford's team hasn't let up at all. We should say hi to Should we say hi to Detective Sanford? Sounds good, but where is she right now? You again! His outfit is really weird. I don't even know what to say. But I will say this type of like clothing, very comfortable though. Hello, I'm Annie Lemon, the assistant of Miss Ray here. Are you master sorting that Miss White mentioned? So you ladies are the two renowned barristers. Do not stand on ceremony. I'm sorting Grey. Oh, I've heard of your great name. Please allow me to pay my respects. Wait, why am I acting like him? You two conducted quite well at the courtroom today. What brings you to our sect this time? Our sect? Isn't this a research center? Well, I'm here for an investigation, of course. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? It's okay if you mind. I'm not quite occupied now. Conversing with you two would be no harm. Oh my goodness, I thought he was going to draw his sword and attack me. Turns out he is just posing. Aura maxing. Senior Grey. Can I call you master swording like Miss White does? I'm only 48 years of age, thus not worthy of titles like senior or master. You're already 48 years old? Then it's just right to call you master. No, it's a multiplication of mathematics. 48 means 32. Thus you can see that I'm still a young man. The title master should especially be avoided. Sorry. Well, because Miss White always called you master swording, I thought you must be quite old. It is typical of Lady Remily. A misunderstanding indeed. Let's forget about it. Well, thank you for your understanding. Miss White always believes that she is only 15 years old. Oh, interesting. Then it makes sense to call him master. So senior, Mr. Grey, what is your primary duty in the center? Well, once I dwelled into cerebral arts before joining Director Crimson's sect 6 years ago. Since then, I have diligently refined my martial skills here while offering medical help. Refining martial skills? What are you... Which means your responsibility is Mrs. White treatment. Precisely, yes. My relocation to this sect was chiefly to cure Lady Remily's disease. What a twip. +2. I do agree. Beyond the treatment, the director entrusted me with other matters, yet they are of secret nature. I ask for your understanding. Why don't I understand what he is saying? He means he is treating Miss White and at the same time involved in some confidential work which he can't tell us. The martial arts novels I read in junior high are coming in handy now. Interesting. Well, typically I attended to Lady Remily and occasionally lent my aid to Director Crimson in studying martial classics. The director recent passing away is a truly grievous loss for our sect. Well, indeed, nobody wishes such misfortunes. Please accept my condolences. He does not show a clear attitude towards the director. Seems his worldview is quite different from the norm. Quite different. One more thing. Can I ask about your whereabouts on the day of the incident? What do you mean, Lady Barrister? Are you suspecting me? Oh no, it's just a routine inquiry. Well, I understand. It is your intention to help others in trouble that prompts such coarse language. What is he talking about? Since you have such a noble heart, I shall cooperate. Then thank you in advance. On the day of the incident, I meditated as usual and attended to Lady Remily's medical needs. Besides Lady Remily, I encountered Sir Goldstein, Zoe Sophia, and Cyan throughout the day. Yet I did not see the director at all for the whole day. Interesting. Could he be dead already? It doesn't make any sense. You didn't see the director. Don't you need to communicate face to face for work? Well, the director was busy with experiments, preferred solitary martial arts practice, and was very punctual. Routine affairs in our sect are managed by Sir Goldstein. I seldom have direct dealings with the director unless necessary. Yesterday, Mr. Goldstein also mentioned that the director seldom managed the affairs of the center. Judging from the notes he left In its notebook, he was indeed punctual and solitary. If you hadn't seen him on that day, you would be completely unaware of the case, right? Hi, Kali. Don't worry about it. I hope that you are doing alright. And you're having a good day. I mean, evening. On the afternoon of that day, as the weather cleared up, there was a flurry of constables rushing in to investigate the case. With such a stir, it is unlikely to ignore it. Well, that makes sense. So, Mr. Gray, you claim to have no connection to this case at all, right? Lady Barrister, such a statement might not be appropriate. As a disciple of a prominent sect, how dare I say I have no connection when our chief passed away? Every disciple has a duty to assist in the funeral of the director and continue to study and spread the martial arts of our sect. I thought he was going to say me something else. Luna Jie, his words are so funny, but he seems to have nothing to do with the case. Well, we have too little information. It's too early to make such a conclusion. And we just got some information about Zoe when we were at the detention center. It's better to take out the relevant evidence and ask him to make things clear. So about the wires, I guess. Mr. Gray, do you know this thing? The esoteric flying dragon meteor rope. Lady Barrister, I never expected you to be so knowledgeable in martial arts as well. What on earth are you saying? It is a secret treasure of our sect. The director often employs it in electromagnetic experiments. Why would it be in your possession? This cable was delivered by Zoe Sapphire under your instruction on the day of the incident, right? Didn't you know science is best conducted by punching? Just like, if your, spectrometer is not working, just, give you a few punches, a few slaps, and probably you will, solve everything. Same thing for computers, just give a few kicks, probably. Well, indeed. Well, I have a few more questions about the delivery of experimental materials. On the incident day, did you ask Zoe Sapphire to deliver two materials respectively to the biochemical and electromagnetic labs? Indeed, it is a secret of our sect. Lady Barrister, may I inquire about your intention of asking it? Well, I have no specific intention. The director rarely let others touch his belongings. If these materials fell into the hands of outsiders, it would cause trouble. I mean, Miss Sapphire said the cable should have been used in the electromagnetic lab. Why did you ask her to deliver it to the biochemical lab? Lady Barrister, what are you suggesting? The Flying Dragon meteor rope originally belongs to the electromagnetic laboratory. I would never had her deliver it elsewhere. But Miss Sapphire clearly remembers you asked her to deliver the cable to the biochemistry lab. Lady Zoe might have been preoccupied with her numerous tasks and made a mistake as usual. This as usual sounds quite convincing. Well, given Miss Sapphire's character, it's quite normal for her to deliver things to the wrong places. Lady Zoe is usually careless. Only 1 month since she arrived, she has already damaged numerous precious items of our sect. I do think that she was quite sure of delivering it to the correct place. I think... she said that she took extra care because she already did a mistake on the morning. So there's something there to unravel, but we don't have enough information. Your $1 million lab equipment, drop kick it, just trust me. If it's not working, might as well just give it a good kick. Had I known she would mix things up, I would have delivered them personally. I see. Well, is it another mistake of Zoe's fire? I thought I had caught an important clue. It is not a mistake, probably. Are you satisfied with my answers? Well, yes. Even though we didn't get much information, I couldn't find any flaws either. I have pressing matters to attend to, so I must take my leave. Farewell, ladies. Well, thank you for your time. Although Mr. Gray talks in a strange way, he is quite interesting, isn't he? Interesting, he's more like a weirdo if you ask me. If I hadn't seen him wearing the Santa's badge, I would have thought I went to a movie set. Is it my imagination? It seems like there are fewer police in the lobby. Maybe they have all gone upstairs. Prosecutor Schubert says some new rooms will be open for investigation today. We have already checked every area of the first floor. It's still early, let's hurry and take the elevator to the other floor. No problem. Elevator moment. My flying dragon meteor rope. To connect the two, I don't know, I can't RP cultivation, stories. Where should we go first? Because I'm not too much into cultivation, to be fair. I do enjoy wuxia, but I mostly enjoy just pure martial arts. The whole cultivation thing, it's slightly too much for me. No disrespect, by the way. And I'm still trying to find a cultivation story that I do enjoy. I checked the house plan. I prefer, historical martial arts. There are only a few offices on the second floor. We might need their permission to investigate. We haven't been to the electromagnetic laboratory on the third floor, so let's start with that. I'll press 3. Why are, by the way, the numbers reversed? Eh! What's happening? Is it an earthquake? It's so dark, I can't see anything. I got your hand, don't worry, Annie. I don't think it's a earthquake. The elevator's top light is off. Could it be a blackout? Are we going to keep going up until we fly into the sky? Usually the elevator stops in place during a blackout. Why does she sound so disappointed? Luckily this building has only 3 floors. Even if the elevator falls, it won't be too dangerous. So where are we now? The second floor or the third floor? The display screen doesn't work. I mean, there's one here, so... It shook so violently that I'm not sure which floor we are on. We're stuck in the elevator, aren't we? So that's kind of what happened at 4 p.m. when there was a blackout. She was probably in the elevator. Our investigation just has begun. What should we do? I mean, I guess we are just calling emergency. There's an emergency phone there. I tried that phone yesterday, but I got no answer. Well, it doesn't hurt to try again. Someone picked up. Hello, is there a blackout outside? We're stuck in the elevator. Is it Lady Barrister? Mr. Gray? Yes, the recent unstable voltage and frequent blackouts in our sect have caused you distress. Though there are no sharp objects in the elevator, it's still unsafe in the darkness. Please be cautious. I didn't expect him to be so considerate. Is this emergency phone directly connected to his office? Well, thanks for reminding us, but how do we get out then? Please remain calm, Lady Barrister. The elevator in our center has a backup power source. Just wait a moment and it will automatically proceed to the nearest floor and the door will open. I mean, having your research center going through so many blackouts, it's probably not a good thing for, experimenting. Thank you so much. And let's conclude this 1,000-mile message. Please take care. What's this 1,000-mile message anyway? Mr. Gray meant we just need to wait a moment. I guess so. Good thing is this elevator has an emergency feature. Is it my imagination? It feels like the elevator just moved a bit. The door behind us is open. Even the lights are on. The backup power works so well. Let's hurry and get out. Okay, so question is, on what floor are we? This is the 3rd floor, right? I can see like the first kanji is like storeroom. Finally, there's light. We're on the 3rd floor. I thought we are on the 2nd. The elevator shook so violently during the blackout and it made me dizzy. Next time, let's take the stairs. Isn't that Detective Sanford? Yes, she's heading into the room on the right. So the room on the right is the electromagnetic laboratory, right? It's literally the same room. It's literally the same room, by the way. We also have cables there. Police from the investigation unit are all over here. Looks like Detective Sanford's team hasn't let up at all. We have the same dialogue. Is this the electromagnetic laboratory? Is it my imagination? Why do I feel like I've been here before? Oh my, sweetie, you're here again. Good afternoon, Detective Sanford. And the lovely assistant is here too. Come here, let me pinch your cheeks. Stop it, not again. Hello, Detective Sanford. Are you investigating in this room? Well, if not, what else would I be doing here? Sightseeing? You're kidding. Well, thank you again for your help in today's trial. Spare me, I didn't help you with anything. You really managed to handle such a mess yourself. But thanks to you, I've got another busy day dealing with this case. Well, I'm sorry. Oh, never mind. Thanks to the case, I've learned more about robots. It will be a good story for my son. She has a son. This is news to me. Didn't she tell us, about that like the other time? But we're running out of time. No time for small talk. How old are you, by the way? Okay, so your son has to be quite young. Detective Sanford, there was a blackout just now. We were trapped in the elevator for a while. What happened? I can't believe you got trapped by that loud-voiced idiot. While investigating the power distribution room, one of my subordinates swapped 2 cables by accident. So he short-circuited the entire research center. Is the officer okay? Well, what could happen to him? He just let out a loud scream when he got shocked. It feels like she's talking with someone I know. I've ordered him to fix it. It might take a while. I see, I thought it was a blackout just as usual just now. Unstable voltage is quite common here, especially considering the difficulty of transmitting power to such a remote place. These science maniacs love to play with high-powered stuff, so blackouts every now and then are nothing unusual. Is it? There was a blackout on the day of the incident. Deputy Director Sanford, the circuit is fixed, I'm serious. I know this voice. What's happening? Who told you to turn on the power for the electromagnetic laboratory too? Shut it down, it's so annoying. Yes, ma'am. What was that noise just now? It got me dizzy. Don't panic, sweetie, it's the metal detector hidden in the lab door frame. Huh. In the lab door frame, not this. Is it why you would create why you would create a blackout? Because you want maybe to avoid I don't know. There's something weird here. I think you want to avoid the door frame metal detector. So you can manufacture some blackout, but it's hard to say what it leads to. I guess that idiot also turned down the power for the electromagnetic laboratory when fixing the circuit. That sound was so piercing, the whole center must have heard it. Why would a lab install a metal detector? I should ask her about it. Okay, it did not went off during like on the day of the incident. So, let's talk. Can I check things, by the way? No, I can't. By the way, Detective Sanford, aren't you busy with work? I didn't expect to see you here. Well, I was planning to come later, but that loud voiced guy shouted about a major discovery and insisted I rush over immediately. A major discovery? In this lab? Well, kind of. Does it mean you found some traces related to the case here? Depends on what you mean by traces. Every room in the center is equipped with a scheduled automatic cleaning system. Automatic cleaning? I vaguely remember seeing a notice about that in the lobby on the first floor. Yes, according to the schedule on this notice, the electromagnetic lab is cleaned every Friday from 5 to the following day at 5 p.m. One entire day? So it was not accessible it should not have been accessible during the time of the murder, right? Five to 6. The day of the incident was a Friday, right? Yes, that's right. Since the incident, no one has been able to enter this lab, and the entire lab was thoroughly sprayed with a cleansing mist. Any bloodstained footprints or DNA, if there were any, are probably all gone now. That's where the crime occurred. But I cannot see how you would create like a fall. How could it be? But luckily some things can't be washed away. I didn't expect that there would really be something extraordinary behind that curtain. Curtain is blocked by officers, so I can't just rush in. I guess I have to ask the detective Sanford for permission. Can I ask about this metal detector? You're interested in this stuff? If you want to know something about its design and structure, ask someone in the center. I'm here to investigate a case, not to give a science lecture. Well, I'm just curious why a research center like this would have one. Normally these are only in high security places, right? Well, that's true, but this room is also a high-risk area. See that curtain over there? Are there bathtubs behind it, like in the biochemical laboratory? No, it is a high-intensity electromagnetic wall. Okay, that's how you create the thing, right? That's how you're creating the murder. You just have to... Okay, I think I know how it happened. So the director would go here. I see. Okay, and so that's why you swap things around. That's how you swap things around, probably. I don't understand. Okay, there might be like a swap of rooms. I don't understand why you would need to deliver the cables in the wrong room. No, it makes sense. It makes sense because she swapped the 2 items. Okay, I see okay. I think it's pretty straightforward. The victim was wearing the metal vest for the experiment in the biochemical lab. But to make things convincing, like, okay, so the way we're killing the victim is by creating a current so strong that it would like attract him and the metal vest, obviously, when he would stand like in the vicinity of the generator. It could be a repelling or like an attracting like electromagnetical field. It doesn't really matter. The point is you would crush the director with this like current, and that would like simulate a fall from 15 meters high. To bait the director in this room, you need to manufacture it so it looks like the biochemical lab. So that's why things have been changed. I need to check something. After this dialogue. I'll continue talking about my theory after this dialogue. So when it's on, the wall's like a big magnet. Pretty much, not big, but also very powerful. Here comes the question, what would happen if you bring metal like your phone when the electromagnetic wall is activated? My phone would be attracted onto the wall instantly. Yes. If the phone is a bit far away from the wall, it will be smashed into pieces. That sounds terrifying. I just bought my new phone last month, gotta keep it safe. So for safety, this lab is a no metal zone. The metal detector here is here for that reason. My poor piercings. There's only one door in this lab and the windows are completely sealed. When metal enters, the alarm goes off, like it did earlier to warn of potential danger. The device is indeed very necessary, so the metal detector needs power to work. Is it related to the case? It is. Okay, we can solve it. We can solve it. I can't move out. I cannot move out. I wanted to check something. Later, okay. But trust, I think I solved this case. I think I've entirely solved this case. I know who the culprit is. Permission to investigate. And I think I know like why the corpse has been... I mean, yeah, I think I've solved everything. What's up? Be direct, I don't have time to waste. As a defense lawyer, I should have the right to investigate here, right? Well, sure, but having you rummage around here will cause me some trouble. Eh? The center is classified. They sealed off most of the areas yesterday, so it was understandable to let you through. Big brain. That's my goal. Like, I love detective stories. And as much as I'm part of the social school of detective stories, I love a good case. And I won't wait until the reveal to like solve everything. But today's a different story. And hi, May, by the way. It's very nice to see you here. I cannot let you mess around. Well, how come? To make it easier for the both of us, I'll have to keep an eye on you too. What does that mean? Well, isn't it clear enough? As long as I'm here watching, you can investigate. Even if someone from the center tries to steer things up, at least I'm here to back you up, understand? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Delicate instruments are all over this room. If you two break anything, I won't spare you. Of course, we'll be careful. Thank you, Detective Sanford. And Luna xie, let's go. Oh, I can't move out. I cannot move out. Okay, what do we want to investigate? The cables. We can't investigate the cables. Okay. I'm still very curious about what's behind the curtain. I'll do you solid and let you take a peep. Will you be careful, Miyabi? I'm careful. In another life, I would be a detective. I would be It's a crazy soundtrack. What is happening in here? Why do we have like such a crazy like soundtrack for the investigation part? It's just too much. It's just too much. So that's like the cleaning machine, right? It disappeared during the time of the director's death. What is this on the right? What are these things on the floors? It's hard to explain. If you're curious, take a look yourselves. Since the investigation in the lab began, no one has moved any of these items. They're exactly as they were at the time of the incident. The beat is too strong. I can't focus. I cannot focus. I don't know what is on the right, okay. These tattered things give me an ominous feeling. Better hurry up and investigate every inch here. Yeah, I just got here in time for one of my favorite parts of this case. I'm very close to solving the case, I think. I just need to check something outside of this room, and I think I've solved the case. But hi, Memory, I hope that you're doing very well today. Let's check like those things. The most noticeable thing in this lab is the pile of scrap metal. It looks a bit like the small bowl I used for making tea. Can a bowl of this shape even stand? It's already that damaged, probably beyond repair, but what is it exactly? What on earth did you do to wreck the lab's robot? It's not me! How can you blame us? I love your reaction, she's just teasing. You just say this is a robot. Are you blind? It's obviously a robot. Don't think it's that obvious? Where's Mr. Robot lying there? It looks pretty lonely and sad. Well, it's the cleaning robot of the research center called Moonlit Pyramid. We found it in this condition, the shell is damaged and its ships are all squashed. So is it part of the robot as well? Is it the one Miss Cyan mentioned yesterday? Also, this is basically the investigation core equivalent. Yeah. Oh my god, the music is just too insane. Oh, we remember that, right? The Moonlit Pyramid is missing. If it just got lost, as long as it's still on, I can locate it instantly. It has been crushed. Okay. Completely disappeared. Could it have been taken apart by the director? I mean, it's pretty obvious what happened. I think like the clues are a bit too heavy-handed here, maybe. Science said it had been missing since the afternoon of the incident. So it broke down here. Researchers said Moonlit Pyramid uses infrared and QR code. Okay, solved. Literally solved. That's what I wanted to check. Didn't you notice each door plate has a QR code? Exactly. I felt like I saw them, but I wanted to go out to check like them. Okay, so we have solved the case. The reason the game was taken down from Steam, the Sims Store, was due to a DMCA claim. Yeah, we talked about that at the very beginning of the stream. It's very unfortunate. Okay, on this insane bit, let me tell you my theory. So the director was prepared to go to the biochemical lab, was wearing the metal vest and helmet, and I guess this is the helmet. Maybe. The director should have gone in the biochemical lab, but because we wanted to kill him, we swapped the locations of several items to make it look like the rooms were like different. Probably the director goes into the elevator, maybe from the first floor, you know, and is going to the second floor to the biochemical lab. There's the blackout. And we know that during the blackout, maybe you go like up to the third floor. Like we thought that we were in the second floor, but we were in fact on the third floor. So the directors go into the third floor thinking that he was like on the second. He goes into this like corridor and checks the room on the right. It shows biochemical laboratory. Because someone swapped the plates. Probably. Because of that, he is entering the room on the third floor thinking that it was the biochemical lab. That's the reason things were swapped. That's why things were swapped. Like on those two rooms. That like Zoe had to deliver things, and she really delivered things, but like because the plates were like reversed, the order from like the sorting ray, the order was right, but she couldn't like do it properly, like because the plates were swapped. It doesn't really matter how it really happened, if like it's Q or code based, if it's like just a computer that is like kind of pinpointing one room, it doesn't really matter. She just delivered it on the wrong thing. Because Sorting was so sure that like his order was right and that he was not the one being mistaken, and that also Zoe found it weird that the equipment was sent in the incorrect room, those two people are innocent. It only leaves one person to have swapped the things, and this person would be the deputy director, Goldstein. When the director was on the third floor in the electromagnetic lab, he was standing there doing things, thinking that he was like in the biochemical things. And by the way, the blackout might also have been like something to prevent... No, the blackout probably was just here to like disarm the metal security system so that he could really feel that it was like the biochemical lab. He would start his experiment, and when the power would go on again, and because that was the thing that was asked at some point to Zoe here. Okay, it makes sense. It makes sense. She would go from the stockroom to the control room, put the electricity again. That would kill the director immediately, because it would like power the electromagnetical lab equipment and the field generator. The director would be crushed there, and someone just has to carry his body from this room to the stockroom. And that's it. That's literally it. Then you kind of close the electromagnetic laboratory. And because of the cleaning process, everything here would be clean, like the blood in there would be cleaned before investigation. And the reason why there are like blood stains at the bottom of the pit is just that someone like throw away by the window the metal vest to like the pit that we saw here, to manufacture the idea that it was like a 15-meter drop murder. That is my theory, by the way. I will accuse Goldstein of doing that based on the behavior of every person right now. I'm expecting... I don't have like any conclusive evidence to pinpoint like the murder on him, but that is my opinion. That is my temporary theory. Okay, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with that. I can vibe with that. This kind of robot is not as advanced as Cyan. It needs QR codes for precise location. Yesterday, I thought that QR code was for scanning to add on Facebook. I should check it out later. But how did Mr. Moonlit Pyramid end up like this? It was hit by something flat. I mean, oh, Sanford, you are smart. You know what happened. And its internal parts are all wrecked with traces of magnetic reaction left on its body. Could it be? Yeah, it probably wandered into this lab while cleaning. It's all metal, so when the electromagnetic wall was powered up, it got attracted, and then it was smashed to bits against the wall. Most likely, but about how and when it got in here, we'll need to look into elsewhere. We have the solution, we know how it happened. It makes sense, but something's off. What really happened in this lab, I need to sort it out. Just trust. I see the vision. Looks like a face mask Alter uses when welding circuits in the village. So this is the helmet. We have solved everything, I believe. This one looks bigger than the face mask you mentioned. With such a weird shape and metal material, could it be the metal helmet the director mentioned in his notes? Why is the helmet here, but the vest is outside out? It makes sense. Everything makes sense right now. I don't get it either. And how did the helmet got so cracked? Be careful, the edges of that thing are really sharp. Thanks. The helmet looks severely cracked, possibly from a powerful impact. I would have gotten cut by the sharp edge if Detective Sanford hadn't reminded me. Oh, that's how he got like his... on the wound on the head, right? Where's the autopsy report? Head and back suffered severe impact from large flat object. Okay. I mean, it's solved. It's solved. It's solved. We just like a motive. We like conclusive evidence to like pinpoint the murderer. And there might be like a slight question of like the exact way like requesting the items to be sent in those rooms like really happened. We just like 3 questions and we have like excellent like handling on the entire case. It's a really clever cause of death. I think I do enjoy it. It's a bit heavy-handed. Just because like when we talked about like during like the trial about my theory, I was thinking about like this distance here being like 15 meters or so, and you could like send someone at full speed, you know, in like a direct line if all the doors were open. And I was thinking about that. But yeah, I think it's just like the electromagnetic like generator, which is a decent cause of death. It's just that it's literally the only thing here that can like solve the case, and that might be like kind of like the only not issue but thing with the game, which is understandable because it's like it was based on like mock trials, but it's really like a Chekhov's gun. I think every items are here for a reason, and contrary to like Ace Attorney where you have a lot of details that will like kind of mislead you, here you know that everything is related to the case, and you can just solve the case not only by logical inferences but by also knowing that every elements have to be used in the deduction. But I like the case. Only blue macros, straight towards the truth. Metals are banned in this electromagnetic lab, right? So then why is that thing here? We know. I need to ask Detective Sanford for more details about the metal protective gear. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about that. Have you investigated the pit outside of the center? Well, yes, have you been there already? Yeah, and we found something strange. Oh, you got that thing. You're as nimble as monkeys. Oh, she feels like dejected a little bit. It's not that what you think. I was planning to call a crane, but you saved me the hassle. The next case is much harder to solve. I'm really eager to see the next case. Like, even, you know, if we are like solving the things early, it doesn't matter. Like, it's still a good case, I think. I mean, it's still case free. It's still like an easy case. Even like in, you know, Ace Attorney games, case free is still very straightforward. Especially when you take Ace Attorney 1, I don't think it's like a very hard case to solve beforehand. The motive was, well, the circumstances was like the interesting thing in case 1-3. But I think all the Ace Attorney games are like kind of like creeping up in difficulty for like the last 2 cases. So I'm really, really eager to see how they will be done. And by the way, like you know the game well. All like the 2 last cases like closely related? Or is case 4 kind of like its own thing? And it's not like a 2-parter as we have, for example, in like late Ace Attorney. What can I do for you? Take this clothing for testing and see what's on it. I will not say, okay, interesting. Interesting. Detective Spark is so busy with errands and didn't even notice us. What you brought just now is a metal vest with iron and lead wires embedded within. It belongs to the same set as the metal helmet found in the lab. As suspected. It said that they often handle radioactive materials during biochemical experiments, so they need to wear these metal protective gears. But aren't we in the electromagnetic lab? Who knows, the management here is a mess, equipment scattering all over. My question is like, does she know? Case 4 and 5 are 20 out of 10. I have heard like very good things and I'm always afraid because like I fear I will be disappointed because like people have been saying so much had so much positive like opinion on those like 2 cases, and it's like, man, I really hope that it's as good as what people were saying. Like I'm expecting, you know, the level of rise from the ashes from the last case of investigation, not investigation, but like from Greatest Attorney 1. I am really eager to see what is in this case. Those cases. If our archives were handled like this, I'd fire the person in charge at once. Because of a management issue, no, of course not. Here are the results, Deputy Director Sanford. Report says the metal vest is covered in mud which matches the soil from outside the lab. There's also blood on it. Preliminary test indicates that it belongs to the victim, Joseph Crimson. Okay. Like, I don't think our theory is like wrong by any measure. We just need like to be a bit more accurate. Because like I'm kind of like waiting also like to see a hint that would kind of contradict our theory, but I don't think we'll ever find one. Did Joseph Crimson really fall to his death in that pit? The way the sentence is like worded, I think she solved the crime very early. Who said that? Was it like... No, okay, that's like Sanford. No, Sanford solved the case. And why was only the vest left in the pit? Why indeed? I was asking you, Detective Sanford. I'm not here to analyze for you. Why don't you figure it out? Okay, she is like such a smart person. It's just like outside of like her concerns. And I think she's also like testing us. Because it's like the first case she is seeing us like solve. It must be worn by the victim during the incident. There must be a reason why it was left in the pit. Are we done in here? I think we are done. We want to examine the plates. Okay. Do we need to investigate other things? Oh, just the wall, right? Is it the electromagnetic wall? Yeah, the most important equipment for those electromagnetic experiments. Once powered on, it generates a strong magnetic force. What kind of experiments are done here? Well, I'm not sure, but no metal is allowed, especially stuff containing iron, cobalt, or nickel. Nickel? Even the power wires or something non-metallic like graphite. Then the cable definitely belongs to here. This wall feels very smooth and hard. It said that they spent a fortune on this wall. It's so tough that nothing could leave a scratch on it. So there won't be any clue left on this wall. But it's still worth noting down. We have it. We have it. Oh, I'm almost sad that we won't do like the trial today. And that we need to wait for after my break to do the trial because like I'm so much into it right now. What are we missing? Another medicine cabinet here looks exactly like the one in the second floor. But the medicines inside are a bit different. There's a box here labeled intestines perforation pills. I don't think eating it would be good for the body. I don't think so, no. I can already guess who put that here. Oh, I mean, yeah. Very true. an identical hanging painting to the one on 2F, very much like the style in the style of abstract art. So does it mean that there's also a murder case here? What? I don't understand. Though I think it's just an astronaut exploring space. There's a joke that I don't think has been, I don't know, translated. I thought it was Earth drifting through the universe. If that's really the case, then what the heck is the astronaut outside Earth even doing in there? Is the table the workbench of this lab? I didn't expect you to know so much. Everything in here is made of high-precision carbon fiber and tungsten glass. Glass bottle on the table, the liquid inside looks a bit strange. There's a label on the bottle, electrolyte solution for cranial nerve experiments. But that should be like... No, wait. No, that makes sense, I guess. Yeah, that's what she said in the detention. I'm not sure what it is, but it sounds like a biochemical experiment. Zoe Sapphire sent the two sets of material to the wrong places. Was it her mistake of Mr. Craze? I mean, it was her mistake, but that was like engineered by someone else. The button next to the back button on the investigation screen highlights all spots you can investigate. Oh yeah, this, okay. Blackboard, strange murals, and cabinet filled with bottles. Yeah, I think it's quite good. And yeah, I'm hydrating. Sorry, I did not say it, May, but I am drinking right now. All Sender Lab stuff. There's something I'm curious about. What is this? The electromagnetic laboratory looks exactly the same as the room downstairs, doesn't it? Yeah, you mean the biochemical laboratory. Okay, that's the end question, but like I think I heard a bottle. Yeah, like my noise like suppression is not perfect, and I'm too lazy to like cut my mic every time I am drinking. Okay, because she's wiping the floor, but like this stain on the floor is just like the blood trickling from the arm, right? So it's okay. So there's like one last question. Okay, there's one last question. I'm gonna throw water at you. One last question we need to solve is like, why do we have like the... Why do we have the name of... It adds to the atmosphere. The name of like Zoe written here. Who did that? No, I mean, it's like easy, right? I have several possibilities. We know like that the name was written and wiped afterwards. No, wait. Didn't she say that like the director like... Wait, there's something we are missing here. That this is like the real question we need to answer. She said, well, we cannot trust Zoe because like her testimony was so weird, but she said that like the director came back to life to write like the name. But when she's saying that, I don't think she saw anyone writing things. It's just she saw like the message being written at the end. What it means in any case is that like the name has been written before she left the room. Gotta go. Okay, thank you for coming. It was very nice to have you here. Have fun. Thank you. Who wrote the name? Was the director alive or not? This is kind of like the question. Did you die immediately or not? I mean, you have been crushed to death. You cannot be the one writing, right? Was someone here in the room? Because you cannot like plan for like Zoe to bring the corpse in here. This is like just too stupid for anyone to expect. But she saw the name written before she left the room. So somebody had to be in this room to write it. Two possibilities. Either it's like the victim that was not dead at that point. Either it's like the culprit, you know, hiding behind like the curtains that you have like on this side, you know, on the right. It can't be you, the show? Maybe he was just alive. Maybe he did not die. It's unclear. I'm missing something to really have like a perfect like handling on this. I don't know. Not yet. The only difference between the two rooms is the equipment on the right side of the entrance. Close the curtain and they look exactly the same. Maybe someone was hidden behind the curtain. It's an electronic display on the left side, not a blackboard. You can navigate it to show all sorts of stuff. Maybe the whole center is running on the same experiment, so the display are set to be the same. Huh, interesting. Which makes it even harder to tell the rooms apart. I think that's kind of like the problem of the game. It's like they are hinting the solution like so intently that it's even hard to come up with another theory. But you would argue that like maybe the point of Ace Attorney is not exactly solving things like... This is not the same detective like story structure as what you would see in like Golden Age and stuff. But yeah, it's really pointed towards one specific direction. I'm wondering if Miss Sapphire mixed up the rooms when she sent the materials. Yeah, sounds possible. The labs are on different floors. My problem is at the different floors. Not the door plates, but maybe she just checked the door plates, so might forget stuff. But mixing up floors and door plates all at once, I don't think so. There's a trick with the flooring as well, but I don't see how you can like engineer that trick. Maybe with the blackout in the elevator, but I don't know. I was overthinking it. There's something covered about the two labs. Oh, there's something, you know, like a secret to uncover with those two labs. Okay. Enough already. Have you finished investigating this room, sweetie? I'm off to somewhere else. Leaving now? Or what? Throw a tea party in this lab? I would love to have a tea party with you. It's not a joke time, Annie. Detective Sanford, I have another question. Does Prosecutor Schubert know about the new findings here? He's not here, but he's closely following the investigation, always seeking for updates on the radio. Could he be any lazier? Speaking of which, I've just had a thought. Getting all these weird clues at once, you must be wondering what really happened here on the day of the incident, right? Are you a mind reader? You must have some ideas already, don't you? Okay, so they were writing the game so that we already had like a very... Well, I mean, she solved it, obviously. What is she proposing? Verifying them won't be easy. Now I have to report to headquarters. If you need more evidence, you can check the central control room on this floor. Or she's hinting us toward like certain like places. I see. You'll find the power distribution box and equipment logs. Some answers might be found out. Okay, she has 100% solved the case. You don't say that unless you exactly know what happened. She just doesn't care enough. Or she's just like, this is not my job and you have to uncover the truth by yourself because you're an adult now and you want to prove yourself as a defense lawyer. I'm really busy today. No time for small talk. Thank you, detective. It was nice. She's gone before I finish my words. Okay, so let's explore the central control room. Because there's still like a lot of like issues. I mean, the bomb mechanism, detonator, whatever, is problematic, but maybe unrelated to this case. It's Miss Ray and Miss Anne. Miss White, nice to see you again. I'm Annie, not Anne. Oops, I forgot again, sorry for that. Her life might be tougher than I thought. By the way, thanks for today in court. No need to thank us, we didn't really do much. You showed me an exciting debate, and that's worth a thank you. Sharp-eyed lawyer and her cute assistant, you're officially recorded in my diary. Miss White, what brings you here? Well, why indeed, it doesn't really seem like there's a special reason. I'm just wandering around the center, see if there's anything I can help with. And also to explore this place a bit more. Sitting in a room all day gets a bit boring. You have your own office? Not exactly. I don't have any relatives in this city, so the center is my home and the room is where I live. So this is not an office but a bedroom. That's quite unique. By the way, if you two aren't busy, feel free to visit my room. Well, it sounds like a good idea. We might have something to consult you. You're too kind, Miss White. Miss Ray. I don't know much. I'd love to learn from you. You're busy with your investigation, right? I won't bother you then. When you're free, you can come to my room anytime. The room is on... The house plan says that it's on the second floor, further west, right? Yes, that's it. Seems like she knows less about this center than I do. Then please rest well, Miss White. We'll visit you when you're free. Okay then, I'll take my leave. Poor girl. She doesn't seem to be involved in the case, does she? I'll think about it later when we visit her. We have something important to do right now. Okay, let's go to the central control room, so still on the third floor. This must be the central control room. So many screens. After Arthur would definitely love this place. What a waste to let him play games and watch animes on them. According to Detective Sanford, the room controls all the equipment in the research center. The mechanical color here is a bit stifling. Let's make it quick. What's this strange box for? Lots of switches inside labeled with room names. It's most likely the circuit breaker box. Circuit breaker? I don't understand. Well, it's a bit hard to explain. Basically, if there's a short circuit in the center, the main breaker here will trip automatically to prevent more severe accidents. What happened after that? It makes me think about like the a power outage that I had, and I don't know, not like a nice moment. What happens after the breaker trips? After it trips, the priority is to troubleshoot. If there's no issue with a circuit, then simply turn it back on. On the incident day, there was a blackout in the center. It was Swording Grey who told Zoe Sapphire to turn on the breaker. The circuit breaker. No, don't do it. If you mess around, Detective Sanford will kill us. Cut it. The circuit breaker box has the main breaker for the whole building and separate breakers for each room. It cannot precisely control each appliance, but only turn the power on or off for an entire room. Yeah, okay. I don't think it's too relevant, but yeah. Lots of screen here, all showing programming language and numbers. I know little about machines, but the text seems not difficult to read. Let me see. A log of the center's equipment. It's like a diary of equipment's activities, and there's a record of blackouts here. Oh, very interesting. At 4 p.m., power goes out due to a short circuit. Manual operation restore powers. So that's the time of the crime, of the death. The director. Is it the blackout Mr. Goldstein mentioned yesterday? It only lasted 6 minutes. The timing is like, I mean, yeah, it's consistent with... It is consistent with a blackout that will allow him to enter the lab without triggering the metal detector thingy, so we are still good. Just a short 6-minute period, but it covers the director's experiment time. But what does this mean? It means the director went to the lab when the center had no power. And then what does that mean? I don't know. We know. I thought I had a breakthrough, but I got stuck so soon. This is very interesting how like they are hinting like all the things, but they are stopping short of the answer, obviously because they are letting you like do the work, but they are still nudging you in the right direction. And I'm wondering if like we will have like the same clues and remarks on the last two cases. Do I miss something important? You are, my dear. The main screen of this central control room looks quite imposing. There's a lot of words on it. A robot usage records. Tracks all the movements of the center robots. Maybe I can find like the second, like the Model 4 robot. Destroyed, scrapped, in use. In use. What you're muttering, the info isn't very helpful. I thought it would tell us where they are separately. In use, so it's not scrapped, right? There's another button below the screen. What's this? Only pyramid log, work log. It didn't start up until the afternoon on the day of the incident. Why did the record end halfway? Did it break down at this moment? I guess so. So we know what happened, and like we know that it had to enter the biochemical laboratory because the plates were shifted. Yeah, okay, they're very, a lot of hand-holding here. We found it in the electromagnetic laboratory, didn't we? Why does the final record show that it entered the biochemical laboratory instead? It does. Could it be that the person keeping the records made a mistake? No, the record is auto-generated by the computer, so it couldn't be a mistake. The only possibility is that this robot somehow mistook the room. You did a good job. It's a very important clue. Really, I don't quite understand, but I'm glad to help you. My Word document, by the way. What's this, a suitcase? Not likely, it's the lab backup power supply, I guess. In case of a blackout, it can provide emergency electricity to prevent any loss of work records. So it saved us when we got stuck in the elevator. Sort of. Sounds pretty impressive. I bet Grandpa would love to have one. No way Detective Sanford would kill me. Okay. We are done in here. Just as Detective Sanford said, we got some interesting discoveries. It still feels like a mess to me. The events that occurred on the day of the incident seemed unrelated to each other, but in fact they're all tied together like a tangled web. That sounds hard to understand. Before we go downstairs for Miss White, there's one more thing I want to check. Let's go, we'll take a quick look at the 3rd floor hallway. Oh yeah, she wants to check the plate, right? Yeah, that's what you see like here, I guess. There's only a few items in the hallway and the one I need to check is already in sight. Perfect. You mean the door plate for the electromagnetic laboratory? Just as Detective Sanford said, there's a QR code on the door plate. Just in case, I scanned it with my phone, but there is nothing noteworthy. Let me give a little pull, just as I thought. The door plate is slotted into the lab door and is easy to remove. I bet other door plates are the same. So Luna has kind of like a good idea of like what happened. She just missed like the connective, I think, thread. So if someone plays a prank and takes all the door plates down and switches them around, then everyone would mix up with all the rooms. Again, very straightforward to say the way they were like telling that to the player. Besides, everyone's been here long enough, just swapping door plates won't fool them. That's kind of the thing. That's kind of like the one of the two last big questions. Like, why would... I don't know. What are you thinking about? Did point out the key. The door plate surface is very clean. It must have been wiped recently. No fingerprints to extract, obviously. I cannot explain it clearly right now, but you'll understand later. Oh, she solved the case. Okay, she solved the case. Very interesting. So let's go to the second floor and then to Remily's room. Remily's... okay. This is Miss White's room. It's so cute. I loved the flowers. Bed, desk, carpet, everything is very tidy. It feels more like a girl's bedroom than an office. I was surprised to find such a place in this scientific mecca. I mean, I would be very glad to have this room, I would say. Miss White is not back yet. Shall we wait for her? Sure. Let's investigate. Snooping others' bedroom isn't a good habit. But just a quick look, right? Seems like only his room is specifically renovated, even the window is different from those in other places of the center. Why not install a gear-shaped window here as well? Well, in Miss White's diary, the room was designed according to her recollection of the night before she lost her memory. If the window is like others, she would realize something is wrong immediately. But wouldn't it look strange from the outside? The outer side of this window has gear-shaped decoration and it looks the same as others. Interesting. Not that it matters for the case. The most strange furniture in this room is the bed. It's Miss White's bed, but there's no girlish decor on it. Something like dolls and pink lace? I mean, it's already, you know, pretty girly, quote-unquote. Sounds a bit childish, don't they? I haven't had them since like 10 years old. What? I still have them on my bed now. +2. A compact nightstand that matches the desk. There's a photo frame on it. More than one person on the photo. Let's take a closer look. The middle should be Miss White, right? She looked younger than me in the photo. And the people beside her are her parents. The photo seems to be taken a long time ago. According to the diary, Miss White had a car accident 6 years ago. She was seriously injured in the accident and her parents probably passed away. There's some small writing in the corner. Cube Stadium. So I guess this is like something we'll explore in like another case, but okay. Oh, isn't it the case from like 5 years ago? The day of that incident. We had that with the flashback of we had like at the beginning of this case. On March 10th, 2019, Sky Shield caused a massive explosion in Cube Stadium in the Republic of Neon. The attack resulted in many civilian casualties and the media called it the 310 Cube Stadium explosion. An explosion? Why did they do that? That's a long story. The problem is, why were Remily White and her family there? I mean, if it's in a stadium, it's just for a match, no? If she experienced that incident, could it be that the reason for her injury wasn't a car accident at all? But if so, why didn't she write it down in her diary? Well, because it's like classified. I don't think she knows about it. Perhaps the people in the research center hid the truth to protect her. Although I'm curious, we better not bring it up to her for now. I think so. But that's like for later, I guess. Your parents are not characters that we know, so yeah. An obvious electronic calendar shows the current time, date and year. I remember Miss White mentioning this calendar in her diary, right? Yeah, she needs to rely on it to confirm the current year every time she wakes up after memory reset. How about hanging one in our office too? It would be convenient for you to confirm the year after afternoon nap. I don't have a memory reset issue, but this thing does look good. Maybe hanging it in the office isn't a bad idea. Another sign that writes price negotiable face to face. A wooden desk, the same set as the nightstand next to it. It's so tidy, I thought it would be like Wolfgang's with lots of homework on it. Well, in her situation, I don't think she has homework anymore. Speaking of which, what is this small package on the desk? Band-Aid package. It's an item used to stick on wounds to help the injured. I know you lived like in a small village, but you had literally like the most advanced like doctor, you know, educated doctor in the entire region probably. It's a thing that wraps around people like a mummy, right? What is she talking about? Oh, like bandages, but like one of the band-aids was already used. There's also a bill on the back of the package, so it's bought from a nearby supermarket. The purchase time was November the 8th. Isn't that the day of the incident? It's after the day of the incident. Who brought that? Was it Zoe? I can't remember. Also, like the whole receipt thing, it looks like Ace Attorney case 2. 1 case 2. I'm missing something here. You arrived already. This voice. Sorry for keeping you waiting. No worries, we should have informed you first. You're welcome all the time. There are many girls in the center, so it's rare for me to meet someone my age. The last time I brought a friend here was 2 years ago, but I didn't write everything down and forgot what we talked about. It must be quite challenging to write down every detail. Miss White, I have lots of delicious lemon tea. You can write it down if you like. Yes, of course, thank you. Miss White, do you usually stay here? Yes, in order to not frighten me every week when my memory resets, Master Swording arranged the room to be the same as the way I remember. Is she talking about the same Mr. Grey I know? Well, since we are here, could we ask you some questions? Yes, my pleasure. Feel free to ask anything. When did you start working here? Maybe about 6 years ago, although the date written on the cover is April 25th, 2019. This notebook was probably bought later. It's quite a long ago. Yeah, but I don't feel it that way because my memories only last for a week. Maybe I shouldn't have asked. But every time I wake up, I feel refreshed and it's pretty good that I can meet many new friends. You are truly an optimistic person. Let's talk about something else, like the people at the center. What do you think of them? Although I haven't known them for very long, they are all very interesting. For example, Zoe is very clumsy, always breaking things. I cannot believe she's a doctor. Me neither. Master Swording is very gentle, and not only is he funny, but he also often reads my stories. The 1 week thing reminds me of this anime I saw called 1 Week Friend. Let me check that. I'm not aware of this anime. 1 Week Friend. Notices that seemingly had no friends after approaching her. That every Monday she loses all memories of her friend despite learning this behavior. Endeavors to befriend her anew every week. To be fair, it seems almost like a straight reference to this particular anime. Manga, I guess, also. Like it was, popular enough to get like a live action film, so interesting. Oh, it was a one shot? No, 7 volumes. Okay, interesting. Maybe it's like a straightforward reference to it. I don't really see it that way. And for the director, seems like he was buried in research every day and he rarely spoke to me. I've searched through my diary and only found some of the experiments he conducted on me. Experiments? Could you tell us more details? I don't really understand them, so I didn't write them down. Her knowledge is still at high school level. No use to ask her such questions. And for the deputy director Goldstein, he looks very kind and treats everyone gently. Huh. And for Cyan, I cannot think of any words to describe her perfectly. I strongly agree with this. Anyway, they are all my family now. Even in my current situation, with them by my side, no matter what, I'm never alone. I see. Although she has only known these people for a few days, I can feel sincerity from her words. Is it because the people at the center are really nice to her, or just because she's a very kind person? I really hope I can be healed soon so I don't need to be like this. As soon as you have faith, everything will be okay. It will. Well, that speaks easily, but the things she suffered, it must be beyond what we can imagine. Maybe I should ask more about her illness. Because of the amnesia, your life must be quite inconvenient, right? Yes and no. I find it okay. Everyone in the center is so kind and helps me a lot. I believe everything will be alright one day. I'm a bit curious why your illness needs to be treated here. When you're ill, you should go to a doctor, right? I wondered about it too. Master Swordin said my brain injury is permanent. It's impossible to recover by ordinary treatment. So I trained to implant like a chip or something like that, right? But luckily the center has developed the technology to transplant human memories into robots. Uh-oh. I know about that, just like Cyan, right? I can't figure out its principles. I think they're researching how to transplant memories from robots back into humans. What? What? Is it something to do like with like Model 4? I don't know. If they have that technology, they could transplant your memories into a robot every week and then transplant those memories back to cure your amnesia, right? Is that so? I never thought it that way. I mean, actually I hadn't thought of it either. So maybe I'll be cured soon. I mean, it's not a cure, but I mean, that can, oh yeah, maybe that's like their plan. But the leader of this project is dead now, so I don't think it will go well. It's better not to talk to her about it. That's not what I wanted to click on. What did you notice? Even though you don't remember what happened on the day of the incident, but still, have you noticed anything strange since your memory is at this time? I don't know what would be considered normal in this center. Even if something strange happened, I wouldn't know it. Right. But there's something strange. The deputy director used to like green tea, but he recently started drinking black tea. It doesn't even add sugar, not even when I offered it. What? He's so bitter and yet he can drink it without sugar. Isn't that strange? Eh? Is like the deputy director like another person? Somebody is like passing up as the deputy director? Adding sugar in black tea can easily ruin the original flavor, so I wouldn't recommend it either. Very interesting jab to the English people, by the way, the British people. Adding sugar and milk into black tea, oh my god. To be fair, I think it's fine, like I'm still doing it. But like adding that in like green tea, you need to be a bit insane, I would say, respectfully. But the bubble tea sold outside is sweet. They use low quality tea residue mixed with hot water. Can it even be called tea? I clap. I clap. The amount, like, I still need to like, you know, try the bubble tea shop next to me, but it's fine because it's like it's sugary, you know, it's sweet, but like it's very hard to find a very, very good place that is doing like a lot of like good tea, using a lot of good tea for like the bubble tea. So I don't know if I speak big trouble. So that isn't he? Her worldview seems to have been shaken by Annie's vision. Never mind, I didn't expect to get useful information from her at the beginning. We've been talking for quite a while. Did I disturb you? No, not at all. We also took the opportunity to rest for a bit, but we have to call it an end. We would like to talk to a few people in the center next. Okay, well, the offices of the Deputy Director Goldstein and Master Swordin are both on this floor, and you're always welcome in my room. I want a room like this. I do have something to visit them for. Well, then we'll be off. Yeah, okay. So let's go to the Deputy Director. We don't have a choice. Very linear investigation. And it's also a very investigation of while you investigate one room and you never come back into it, I think. Which is not exactly the Ace Attorney way. I like when you need to come back for certain things because you have new clues that are recontextualizing previous ones. It's quite normal. After meeting so many weirdos, I really think Mr. Goldstein is the only normal person in this whole center. Wow! Even though I knew who's coming, I still got startled. Aren't you the lawyer and the assistant from yesterday? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Miss Cyan, hello. It's only been one day, so don't misses me again, okay? I'm not happy, for real. Miss Cyan, we have something to ask you. When black coffee drinkers unite. +2, +2. Why are you here? I mean, it's just I like latte, so it feels natural to sweet the latte. But yeah. And just for that, well then let me kindly enlighten you. So why are you here? I'm here to prepare tea for the Deputy Director so he can drink some during break. I remember you said yesterday that you hate serving tea for the director, aren't you? Nonsense, how dare you compare the director with the Deputy Director? What do you mean? The Deputy Director is a super nice person, I respect him a lot. For example, the Deputy Director is gentle while the director always looks fierce. I don't think it's good to say that to someone who just died. Also, the Deputy Director never treats us like something he can casually boss around. In winter, he even asks if I'm cold and suggests adding an extra layer of clothing. Sounds like a nice person. So do you need an extra layer of clothing? Although I don't need it, when the Deputy Director manages affairs, he still gets new clothes for me. And although he must be tired because of the mess caused by the director's death, I come to prepare some tea for him. So compared to Director Crimson, Deputy Director Goldstein is more beloved in the center. So is it like the motif, Goldstein was unhappy with how Crimson would treat other people? I don't think it warrants murder, but... Where's Mr. Goldstein now? It's his tea break now, so he should be out for a walk. He should be back soon. I see, no more question. Mr. Goldstein said something very serious to Swordin Grey on the day of the incident. I wonder what it was. Wow! What are you doing? Seeing you frown like this, pondering. As if you're pondering, I just wanted to scare you and it worked again. You really are the worst. Well, thank you for the compliment. Very crazy. Her body can be opened, by the way. Her body can be opened. Is this relevant to any degree? Maybe not. You didn't attend today's trial, did you? Of course not. If I went there, I'd scare everyone to death. Why do you look so excited about it? Miss Cyan, have you discovered anything new since yesterday? If you want my views on the murder case, I have no clue. According to the 3 laws of robotics, you cannot stand by when seeing a human life in danger. What would you do if a murder happened right in front of you? Well, even though I don't have any medical function, if I ever saw someone dying, I would definitely help them, no matter how hateful they are. Well, thank you for coming, Nam. If I'm popping in your recommendations, we are going through Trials of Innocence, Ace Attorney inspired game. So, does it matter? I would definitely help them no matter how hateful they are. You really hate your creator. I don't think this robot was directly involved in this case, but I still need to check. I don't think she is. According to your statement, you were not involved in the director's murder from start to finish, right? What's that in your hand? An umbrella? Well, please ignore it, just answer my question. I'm gonna go through 2 trials myself tomorrow called exams in mid-July. Interesting. Well, I hope that your exams will go well. Not to mention, behind being involved in the case, I only heard about the murder later from the police. And since I found it so late, I didn't even get to see the director's body. Huh. But like I said before, it only works with like the ultimate equipment I crafted, combining several medical devices, detect mental state of the subject through indicators like respiratory rate, so it doesn't work on like... As a robot sand doesn't have respiratory rate, blood volume or pulse. I really shouldn't have used it to check if a robot was lying, I'm so stupid. But maybe I should trust her, she has no reason to lie after all. I don't think it's exactly relevant to the case, to be honest. I don't see why this information would be needed. By the way, your body can be opened. It's a pretty common design, you don't know? I won't call it common. My core components are basically in the head and chest, so why not make my belly useful too? Considering that I might have to work in places without sunlight or charging pill. I saw backup batteries in this compartment. No, I don't know. I just don't know. It does sound reasonable, but when you opened it just now, it was empty, right? Yes, of course it's empty. I don't have any plans to go on a long trip, so I don't need batteries. Can't you imagine how uncomfortable it would be to have a big lump of iron stuffed in your belly? I cannot imagine it. Yeah, okay. My tummy only stores food. Same. If you have no backup batteries, won't you be affected if there's a blackout in the center? My energy comes from sunlight, so it doesn't matter to me whether the center has powered or not. But during the blackout, I cannot watch movies in the workshop, which is so terrible. She was in the workshop? Anyway, I got it. You have a pretty large storage space in your body, and it's usually empty, right? It's always empty. And are there any functions you haven't told me about? Maybe rotating my head 360 degrees and pulling it off? Mine stores stories, tales even. The tales of Siggy. What about the shielding skin layer? It's a very useless function. Director's ultimate goal was to design ultra-realistic robots that are identical to humans. He even hoped that I could pass airport security and travel around just like humans. He designed the skin layer for me to shield against all inspection methods. That's probably something we'll like talk in like a next case with like some sort of like smuggling. Are you blind with my appearance? Even I could block all the checks. What's the point of it? Why is she talking? I got it. Is it relevant for the case, really? Seems to be obsessed with certain strange details. Huh. The deputy director's tea is ready, and then I'm gonna go. Why in such a hurry? It's Sunday and Telebabies is waiting for me. I've lost interest just hearing the name. Never ever touch anything in a deputy's director's office, got it? If you touch those things you shouldn't touch, he will get angry. Even the gentle deputy director will get angry. Well, I'm gonna go. I was hungry for knowledge. +2. Food for thought, by the way. Miss Cyan is still so interesting. I want to chat with her a bit longer. I hope not. +2. I wonder what is in here. So we are investigating. This file? What should I investigate here? Oh no, wait, I was on the wrong button for some reason. Thermos and a teacup. I should buy a new thermos, by the way. Like, I think it would be very useful to keep like some... I mean, I have a, you know, a ceramic teapot, but during winter it doesn't hold like... things are getting cold very quick, is what I mean. A water dispenser. What's that? A type of robot? Sort of. Sort of. Very antique. Seems to be something the deputy director would like. But the content is a bit puzzling. In such a good-looking office, why hang something with such daubs? Just someone's daubs. I thought it's some Chinese characters. Maybe she's the right one? The signature below is calligraphy. Lucian Hermit. What? So many different information. Oh, by the way, Lucian Hermit, isn't this like... Oh, we don't have the... Or do we? No, we don't know. We just don't know. A neatly organized storage cabinet reflecting the user's personal style. Each file inside is neatly organized with different labels on the folders. Design drawing, budget sheets, project proposal, a lot of... It's really a lot to manage. To be destroyed, let me see, there's some failed printouts and some files with a lot of numbers. Bills, right? I've seen them in the village. Most of the recipients' names are the director Joseph Crimson, and he has received multiple transfers from an overseas account. The amount... In just a few months he received like $10 million, by the way, in a few weeks. The center is so rich. Is all this the director's salary? There's research funding not for his personal expenses. It's a state-owned institution. No, there's like some sort of like smuggling going on here. There's also a piece of paper with odd size compared to the others. Shape and color, I've seen it somewhere. Could it be... Oh, is it like the memo? I mean the notebook of Remily White? I heard a wailing sound at night. Then a lot of doctors and police came. I don't know what happened. I asked the deputy director and Master Swordin, but both of them refused to tell me. Come to think, in the morning they seemed to be talking about something like time bomb, sky shield. The deputy director said absolutely cannot tell anyone. It will bring disaster to the center. I hope everything is okay. Master Swordin's hand was cut and bleeding, so I bought him some band-aids. So he was the one with like the band-aids. I hope he will be cured soon. You left the center to buy like the band-aids outside? I guess information that was meant to be like hidden was mostly the time bomb, right? The edge can match. It's evident even without professional identification. But why is it here? Does that mean the person who tore it off is... Don't jump to conclusion, we should check the content first. We just read it. What is all this content about? Time bomb. It's like time bomb, what the... What the heck? This center probably hides some astonishing secrets. I was right, this place is indeed closely related to Sky Shield. So there are members of Sky Shield here. I'm not sure, but we need to be more cautious in the investigation. The content on this page doesn't seem directly related to the director's death. Judging by the place it's hidden, the one who tore it off can only be Mr. Goldstein. Why would he hide it here, and what does that mean that it will bring disaster to the center? We just don't know. There seems to be something else underneath this folder. A badge? No pin on the back. If it's a badge, it wouldn't be wearable. The pattern, I think I know it. The Chinese character 10, meaning the sky. I mean, 10 is in, Japanese. The badge is in the shape of a shield with the 10 with the sky on it. It's probably something even more astonishing than on the torn page from Remily White's diary. How many secrets has Mr. Goldstein been hiding from us? Does it look like the 10 symbol, by the way? I guess it does to some extent, but... Interesting. The door's open. San, is it you? He is back. What should we do? We can't just let go of the evidence we finally get. Annie, take it. Oh, Miss Ray and Miss Lemon, what brings you two here? Hi, Mr. Goldstein. The weather is very nice today. Well, if you compare it with yesterday, I have to say it certainly is. It seems he hasn't noticed that we touched the cabinet. I hope so. Good afternoon, Mr. Goldstein. We were so sorry for entering your office without permission. It's okay, I suppose San must have opened the door for you. As lawyers for Zoe, you've come back to the research center to investigate, and I'm truly grateful for that. You are welcome. Actually, we came to ask you a few questions. My pleasure. To be precise, how many questions do you have? Not again. We found something new during today's trial and investigation, and we just want to talk about it with you. Well, I'll tell you everything I know. He seems so calm, even without any hint of guilt. Perhaps he is the most difficult person to deal with in this research center. Like, kind people, they are really, really, really hard to gauge, I think. Like, because you cannot be anything other than nice to nice people, but it's such a convenient shield to like hide information or just like manipulate people. Did you attend today's court hearing? Yes, it's deeply embedded in my mind that you shouted objection back and forth with the prosecutor. From today's trial, there are some issues with the cause of the director's death. I have to say the prosecution's investigation is really hasty. I agree with that. Many of the prosecutor's conclusions were drawn without careful consideration and verification. People like him can never become a great scientist. I think that guy's ambition is to become a great musician? What? Do you have any idea about the cause of the director's death? Please define idea. It's what you are thinking about in your mind? Well, unfortunately, my mind is completely occupied with the research center's affair, that's all. Impeccable answer. I don't know. Based on his personality, I don't know if, he's like hiding something or not. By the way, you mentioned yesterday to not make things difficult for today's witness. Did you mean Remily White? Yes, I didn't agree to her testifying, even though the prosecution asked to. But that policewoman with shiny silver hair pleaded with me several times, so I had to agree. The so-called pleading, she was threatening him with her lipstick. Thankfully, you two were gentle and didn't cause her further pain. It's what we should do. She's a good and strong girl after all. But is it my imagination, or do I feel Mr. Goldstein is hiding something? I remember you said yesterday that you were working here for over 8 years. I do. That means that you should have joined the center before Miss White, right? If you're trying to highlight my experience here by that, I have to say that's somewhat exaggerated. Before Remily came, the director discussed this project with me. Although he did the research for something else, his technology happened to be able to cure Remily. Isn't that project highly confidential? Is it okay to tell me all those things? Doesn't matter anymore. Why? The director was the only one in the world capable of running this project. Now that he is dead, it means that it's over. What? Although it's cruel, I'm afraid all of this is already doomed. The project that Remily is in is called the Phoenix Project. What is that? It's kind of difficult to explain. Well, take your time, we would like to hear about it. I read about Phoenix in storybooks before. The Phoenix is said to possess immortality and can be reborn from its own ashes after burning in flame, right? You are really knowledgeable. I mean, isn't this like base knowledge? I didn't hear about that before. What do you mean? You've met science, so you should know what we can now transplant human memories into electronic cores. Yeah, she mentioned it before. It's truly a miraculous technology. But the real miracle goes far beyond this. The director's next plan was to reverse this process and transplant memories from electronic cores to human brains. This really is something that you should not do. Is this even possible? If the directors were still alive, maybe he would succeed in decades. Humans will die one day, but robots are different. With regular maintenance, electronic cores can exist forever. When a memory is freely transplanted between human brains and electronic cores, it can last forever. It sounds amazing. If the project succeeds, humans can become immortal, right? Well, it depends on how you define immortal. I'm not quite clear. The director has been devoted to the project for years, which might be related to his experiences before coming here. Before coming to the center, I don't have relevant information now. Maybe it's not related to the case. Well, forget it, there's no use in talking about it. In current situation, technology is no longer feasible. Although it may sound harsh on Remily, I am relieved that the project ended midway. Why? Memories stored in human brains are unique, but electronic cores can be copied. Once memories from electronic cores can be transferred into humans, it will trigger many worrisome consequences. Is that like a reason why he would have killed like the director? Since the project has been terminated, we probably have nothing to worry about, right? Yes, but Remily still suffers. I feel so painful just thinking about the tragedy her family suffered 6 years ago. He must know about the past of the girl. Maybe I should show him the thing. The photo, I guess. Mr. Goldstein, you know this photo, right? Yeah, it's the last photo of Remily and her family. I have to say your interest in collecting is quite eccentric. I didn't collect it out of interest. I'm sorry for being a bit forward, but I like to ask you about some old matters. Oh, could you please define how old they are? If you're asking how the dinosaurs were extinct, I'm afraid it's not within my area of expertise. I mean, why would you think I would ask questions like that? We want to know about the 310 cube, 10 of March Cube Stadium explosion that happened in 2018. I see. From your reaction, I can pretty much guess what happened, the reason for Miss White's apparent death and her brain injuries. It's not the car crash she wrote in the diary, right? The silence isn't the answer I want. There must be something behind all this. Well, in that case, I'll be straight with you. Miss White and her family were involved in the explosion, right? I don't think it's related to the director's death. I'm not sure about it, but I don't want to overlook any details during the investigation. If you know anything, please tell us. The path of the truth converges with the path of science in essence. Since no sign shows up, you will give up. It would be unwise for me to stay silent. Thanks. Please note that whatever I say, you cannot tell Remily anything about it. I promise. 6 years ago, Remily was on a trip with her parents in the Republic of Neon. On that day, the Cube Stadium was hosting a popular large-scale stage play and attracted many tourists. Remily's family were one of them, and the evil organization placed a bomb in the corner of the audience era just for some pathetic reasons. Was it Sky Shield? Yes, the explosion caused a global uproar. I read about it in the news when I was in high school. I remember that the explosion resulted in 27 deaths and hundreds injured. and the ruthless organization became the primary target of international crackdowns. Remily's family happened to sit in the center of the explosion area. None of them should have survived, but her parents protected her with their bodies, so, you know. Miss White really is so pitiful. The organization took everything from her but left her only with her life. Is she lucky or unlucky? Only she knows the answer. Is it my imagination? Why do I feel he's deliberately avoiding saying the word Sky Shield? Are you involved in Sky Shield? Are you seeking redemption for what you did? I have one more question. If that's the truth, why did she write in her diary that she had a car crash? We had to tell her in that way. When she first arrived at the center, she was very unstable. Every time her memories were reset, she became fearful and even irritable for being in such an unfamiliar place. If we told her the truth, it would only make her more painful. We cannot do this. Miss White had experiences like that. Although sometimes she is overcome by sadness, I think she's very optimistic and strong. Once we accidentally let her see the news on TV, including the news of her parents' death. She broke free from our control and even threatened to revenge on her parents' killer. If Swording hadn't injected her with a tranquilizer in time, we couldn't imagine what she would have done. It's normal to react like this if one suddenly knows such a cruel fact. We took Swording's suggestion and made up these well-intentioned lies. She was injured in the car crash and her parents are just on a long trip. These lies may not deceive her for a lifetime, but they can temporarily calm her down. Mr. Gray indeed has done a lot for her. Yes, most of her recovery is attributed to Swording. The director and I were old and couldn't understand young girls. It's good that Remily had someone her age to play with. But they are actually quite far apart in age, but Swording is kind of behaving like a child at the same time, so... Well, I went on a tangent, sorry, I still have some work to do. And I need to prepare for tomorrow's testimony, so I'm afraid our conversation has to end here. Sorry, but please wait a moment, I have one last question. Please, go ahead. You will testify in court tomorrow? Yes, although I don't want to, the case situation doesn't allow me to stand by anymore. Could you inform us of something you will say tomorrow? Annie, it's not allowed to ask. It's okay, I will only testify about what I know, that's all. What about the things only you know? Will you testify all those things? What do you mean? Nothing, I misspoke. She's like hinting about what was in the cabinet. Miss Frey, if you want to touch on matters you shouldn't, I have to say this is not a wise course of action. What do you mean? I've been working here for 8 years. If possible, I hope to work here for another 8 years, and then another 8 years. I'd be a little bothered if someone tried to ruin it. Is that a threat? I've taken note of your words. See you tomorrow in court. I'll see you there. Well, my tea break is over now. I'm going back to work. Thank you for your time. You are welcome. If you ever need help with biometric dynamics in the future, feel free to come to me. Biomimetics. Oh, thank you, but I don't think I'll deal with them like that in my life. Okay, then farewell. Good luck with your work. We're almost there. We just need to investigate the room of Swording, right? Always with a smile on his face, but I can't help sweating when talking to him. That's like gentle person that are like threatening. It's like, they can like be very mean if you're like crossing the line. What role does he play in this case? Why did you look so serious? Oh, it's nothing, let's move on. Although we have been investigating many places, I feel like there are rooms we haven't been to yet. You mean the unused room? Maybe we can find something to break the door open. No need, the lock to that room is so rusty I don't think it could be related to the case. No, okay, it makes sense, okay. But there are indeed rooms on this floor that we haven't been to yet. Let me see. Sordin's room. It feels like there's some kind of ominous aura in this room. Whose office is this? You can tell just by looking at the sword hanging on the wall. By the way, can you remember one of the second stream we ever made, and we talked about like water and mountain paintings? But they feel strange when paired with a computer on the desk. Speaking on that, no room can be more strange than Arthur Lemon's. Mr. Gray isn't here. Should we wait for him? We should investigate, unguarded. We can fully investigate the room before that weirdo comes back. Trash can. A rubbish bin. Seems like there's a lot of things inside. Let me rummage and see if we can find something useful. I could do it, maybe. There's quite a few strange things. Don't pour everything out. Well, it's easier to investigate this way, isn't it? She is very right. Lots of incomprehensible documents, a plastic doll wrapped in iron sheet. Why is the investigation theme cooking that much? Some seemingly engineered drawings, and a black device and a bundle of shurikens. I don't think that is something from Chinese martial arts. A black device? Got a lot of stuff all at once. Should we check them one by one? He could return at any moment, so inspecting them now isn't a good idea. Let's just put everything in a plastic bag and take it away. You're just like emptying his garbage bin and like escaping with like the bag? What a big painting. Although I don't know much about art, this should be a high quality ink landscape. With such a large painting, wouldn't they get stuck at the door when they moved it in? That's a good question. After searching so many offices, I think each room's decoration has its own unique features. These offices have one common feature: they don't match the overall style of the center. There's a sword hanging on the wall. Incompatible decoration at the center. Ethereal Moon Shadow Saber. Judging from this style, the name should be something like Azure Celestial Star Sword. Exactly. You can see that it's like an elegant sword. It seems the name is engraved on the scabbard. It's called Not For Sale. I don't think it's the name. Another cabinet full of books. Is it basic requirement for researchers? I mean, kind of. Many books placed on each office are the same. It is necessary for everyone to buy them. Maybe they don't want to bother each other for borrowing books. There's a book called The Aeneid. I've read it. You've read The Aeneid? Nobody has read The Aeneid. I really want to ask what is that, but it would definitely damage my good image in Annie's mind. You have read The Aeneid. I have translated The Aeneid, part of it at the very least. A sword in Gray's storage cabinet. A copper nameplate engraved with confusing characters and a wooden pen holder carved with curved patterns. All these things don't fit with the center style at all. Quite a few documents in the cabinet, each one has a title. Swordsman Zoro, Adventure of the Three Musketeers. Okay, so, you know, Cape and Blade. Crackling lightning that breaks the sky, also known as Not For Sale. Are you cultivation pilled, by the way? Are you like, because like, I don't know, I thought you were not, but like, are you actually like cultivation pilled, Siggy? Not at all. Okay, you're just like spouting things. Probably just some bootleg martial arts novel. He is really hopeless. There seems to be a photo album among these books. Could it be a collection of photos of him striking various martial art poses? I don't want to see those embarrassing things. Is it like just Remily White? It's Miss White. All of them are her solo shots. I mean, I need to watch more cultivation stuff and Chinese media in general. There are a lot of very good things. Like Chinese drama, like, you know, if you don't mind the framing of drama, the fact that it's not like the same, you know, standard, then films, you have a lot of very, very good things. This album seems to be a record of Remily White's life since she came to the center. He is making an album. It's normal if we found it in her room, but it's here. He's some kind of pervert that often appears in animes. I think he's just like, he is like really your, maybe, you know, the big brother that you really want. Very attentionate, very caring, and devoted. Oops, sorry. What kind of anime are you watching? The date of the first photo is a few days after the incident, by the way. I wonder if Remily knew about these photos. If they were taken without her knowledge, then he is truly a pervert. It's hard to say without checking the photos, but... Who is it in the training room? Oh, I don't have the time to hide these things. Oh, it's you, Lady Barrister and Lady Assistant. Could you inform me what brings you to my training room without permission? Well, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a saying that entering rooms without permission will be treated as a thief. We were not, we just wanted to wait for you here. Is that so? Then could you inform me what are those things you're holding? We were just browsing around. Ladies, I'm afraid that your behavior is really improper. It's really out of my tolerance range. I'm sorry, but you should know that we're doing that to help others in trouble, so... This album is Lady Remily's treasure. I will help her to keep it temporarily for the first 3 days of each week. To keep it temporarily for the first 3 days of each week. Why? It's a bit sad that a lot of Chinese media doesn't get proper English subs, so it's been tough. I think it's changing slowly though. In the past at least 2 years, we have been like a lot of interesting things that have been translated. First 3 days. Yes, she wakes up with no memory every Saturday, so she needs 3 days to get familiar with the environment and our sex members. But the 4th day, she's quite familiar with me, so I will return this album to her. These photos were all taken on Fridays, recording her growth in each cycle of memories. Sorry for my misunderstanding, but she's been like this for 6 years, hasn't she? Yes. For Miss White, everything is always fresh new, but for you, it's just the same thing over and over again. Won't you find it boring and tiring? Miss White has a pitiable background. I'm just servicing justice and do what I can to help her. That's the least thing I could do. Miss Grey, it must be tough for you. It is time for me to practice martial arts. I respectfully request your departure. Okay. Since the album belongs to Miss White, we have no reason to take it as evidence. I deeply appreciate your understanding, Lady Barrister. However, I suppose there are some other things that need to be returned to me. Court. I think it would be inappropriate for you to keep my items left during my training, as they are contaminated with impure residue. What is happening? The handle of the trash bag was severed by sorting with a single strike, and all of the items inside were taken away. Impressive. Farewell then, please take your leave. Okay. We're kind of done with the investigation, right? Even the evidence we gathered with effort was taken away. He's more capable than I thought. Why are you suddenly quiet? I'm thinking, what is this? Where did you get that? Well, when Mr. Gray's sword came over, I took it from the deepest part of the garbage bag. Did I do something wrong? No, you did very well. Well, that's good then. It looks like a back plug. It seems to be burned from the inside, so it's charred inside and out. Are you manufacturing? Are you the one manufacturing? Wait, are you the one manufacturing the blackout? Is like Sordin actually the culprit? Or is it like a situation where like everybody is in cahoot? I think if it's plugged onto a power strip, it might cause a short circuit. Sounds complicated. This plug is already broken down. If it's connected to the circuit, something dangerous might happen. So it's normal that Miss Cray threw it in the rubbish bin, right? Probably. Huh. We didn't manage to bring out anything from Sword in Gray's office except for this plug. Hopefully it's something useful. It's almost time for the last bus. Should we go? Let's go. We found lots of new information today. We should sort them out later. I mean, we kind of have everything to like solve the murder, so... It's dark outside. Any detectives in the lobby have gradually left, and detectives in the lobby have gradually left. I didn't realize that we have been investigating for so long. It has been almost 3 hours. Detective Sanford, you're still here. Hi, sweetie. Are you heading back now? Yeah, we've done everything we can and gathered all the information we could. And we'll prepare for the trial tomorrow then. Ah, is that so? What's with that unsettling smile? Detective Sanford, do you have something to say to us? Not really. She does. Please just tell me. I can feel younger just by looking at your expression, sweetie. Actually, I'm here to share something with you. You offer to share information. I thought the police and defense lawyers are always on opposite sides. If it were a low-ranking officer, of course, they don't have the authority to reveal information, but for me, what I want to say and to whom I want to say it completely depends on my mood. It's so much fun watching you and Silas go against each other today, and I don't want it to stop. What an odd inclination. So what is it? The forensic department completed a detailed autopsy report on the victim. So what is the cause of his death exactly? One step at a time, don't always try to jump to the final conclusion. The forensic team maintains the previous conclusion about the cause of death. However, they found some other things during the autopsy. Traces of metal debris were found in the victim's head, so we know that he was wearing the helmet. And to be exact, its debris is of steel alloy. Although it's metal, the quantity is very limited. And although it's metal, not enough to trigger the metal detector at the entrance of the electromagnetic lab. Doesn't matter. Irrelevant. So where did the debris come from? Only one thing in the center is made of the same material. Since you finished your investigation, why don't you show me? I didn't figure out every detail of the case. But I basically know about the truth. Interesting, so Luna has also a very good handling on the case. The gun bag in the back, I want one. It's so big, if it's, it has to be probably I don't know, 50, 60 centimeter high. It's a big one. The metal debris found in the director's crimson head should come from this item. Is it the metal helmet found in the electromagnetic laboratory? Yes, since metal debris were found in the director's crimson head, it means that he was wearing it when he died. With such a sturdy helmet to have the debris on his head, there must have been some significant impact. There's only one place that could cause such impact. Exactly. If we're right, the cause of the director's death needs to be completely re-examined, doesn't it? Everybody knows what is happening, and this is quite enjoyable. But do you really think you can win just by making this kind of judgment? I don't think so. If we can think of it, then Prosecutor Schubert can as well. Good. I'm just here to acknowledge the small efforts you've made so far, but you still need to keep fighting for tomorrow's trial. What will tomorrow's trial be like? Maybe I can go ask the court for a copy of recording to watch. She's not going to be in court tomorrow. Will you come to court tomorrow to testify? I've been out investigating these past 2 days and the work at Interpol has piled up like a mountain. Anyway, since Silas is so capable, I can say whatever needs to be said. He can say whatever needs to be said himself. Making him speak properly is the most difficult part. Honestly, it has been several years since I've handled a murder case, and the cause of death turns out to be so bizarre. So aren't you one of the best detectives? Why haven't you handled a murder case before? For years. As a high-ranking officer in the police force, the matters that I have to deal with are far more malignant than murder. terrorist attacks, human trafficking, drug cartels, or any of these not more harmful than murder? Last year, I just destroyed a drug cartel in Southeast Asia. The people they killed could circle this research center twice. So, which one do you think I should prioritize? I see. So this case is really nothing compared to them. But if it's true, why does she still decide to take on this case? Because of the bomb? Is it because of the director's Crimson special status or some other reason? Thankfully, this case is almost wrapped up. Your work should be done by tomorrow too, right? Yeah, this case will have a verdict tomorrow. I will definitely prove my client's innocence. Good. It's good to have faith in your client. I'm really look forward to your performance, sweetie. I won't let you down. Okay then, bye. Wait, I haven't finished yet. You haven't finished? You're really a persistent girl, aren't you? You're the one that walks away so suddenly. Okay then, what do you want to ask? Detective Sanford, you just say that your work as Interpol is very busy. Then why did you drop those matters and come to handle this nothing? Nothing special. Just because I happened to pass by the area when the incident occurred. Anything wrong? Nothing. Verity Lens is reacting to Detective Sanford's words. I didn't expect that even she is hiding something. Indeed, this case is not as simple as I thought. Using it on Detective Sanford might cause something undesirable, but since I have gone so far, I cannot back down now. What is this in your hand? Are you planning to attack me? Absolutely not, it's just a decoration, Every time it happens, I want to use the Verity Lens to poke its creator. Okay, let's analyze the situation now. Although it had a reaction, I think she wasn't lying out of guilt. She has been diligently investigating and helped me several times. She definitely isn't involved in the case. As a high-ranking officer in the police force, she hides something from me for job privacy. It's Detective Sanford who won't yield easily. I might get in trouble if I bluff aimlessly. To get to the truth from her, I need to support my arguments with logic and evidence, and then probe little by little. Let me uncover the information she's hiding. Detective Sanford, you say that you happened to pass by the area when the incident occurred. But the center is located in the suburb and it took us a long time to get here by car. Unless you came here specifically, I don't think you would have the chance to pass by here, right? Huh, an interesting deduction. But how do you know that I wouldn't handle other cases in the area? Detective Sanford, as a defense lawyer specializing in criminal cases, I occasionally check the news during breaks while watching soap operas. Seems like the main and the second priorities are reversed, don't you think? Anyway, recently there's no serious cases, other than this murder. So what? It doesn't matter if I came here to walk dogs or take my kid out, doesn't it? She seemed to hesitate for a moment just now. Maybe it's time to probe. Let's not talk about why you passed by. I think this case is special for you, Detective Sanford. Why? The case is special for you because it's the only murder case you have handled for years. Famous, you are an Interpol that represents justice. It might be the only murder case you have handled for years. As you mentioned, you haven't handled a murder case in years. After all these years, you've just taken on this one murder case. Isn't that special enough? It doesn't work. Oh, interesting. Oh no, okay, it works, but it's just like it's not very effective. The real battle begins now. Detective Sanford, I've also heard that your work as Interpol is related to international criminal organization. Yeah, you know well, but how is it related to the case? Although I don't have the exact evidence yet, Director Crimson's death happened on the same day as a certain event, and the event happened to be related to an international criminal organization. What are you talking about? She wants to change the topic. I can't break her defense only by words. I need to show evidence. And we just need to, I believe the reason you took on the case is probably related to this event. So the thing with the Sky Shield, a newspaper. Yes, it's a newspaper subscribed by your office. It clearly states here the remote control for the bomb stolen by an international criminal organization has resurfaced, are matters related to the international criminal organization Sky Shield under your charge. Yes, but why are you suddenly mentioning Sky Shield? Just the news itself isn't enough to explain why you take on the case. However, this evidence clearly shows the connection between the news and the research center. I mean, we don't know what it is technically, so... that would be the thing, no? Where did you find this delivery receipt? We found it in the rubbish bin in Director Crimson's office. The shipping location is exactly the one said in the newspaper, Mère de Maison, where the remote control was sent from. I guess you could, maybe, I don't know if you could present like the remote control instead. And the postal code probably refers to the center. Remember to hand the delivering receipt over to the police later. So I'm right? In this case, the center, and again, remember that this is the location for the very first case. We know that like one of the brother was sending something afterwards, after the case. In this case, the center obviously has some kind of connection with Sky Shield. Okay, I don't have time. I should get going now. Wait, I haven't finished my questions yet. There's more. You should know, as Interpol, I'm very busy. I'm kind enough to have stayed with you for so long, sweetie. She's about to leave. I don't have much time to think. I have to come up with a reason to stop her. I think I know why you came here and took on this case. You're bluffing. It is highly confidential. You came here despite being busy, so I think the case is not the main reason. Your real purpose for coming here should be... Oh, okay, so that's where you present like the thing, right? The control. You came here specifically to find something. Sweetie, you have quite a unique perspective on problem solving. There are plenty of things here. If I really want to find something, why don't I call a subordinate to do it? You can't, because the thing is not only important but also dangerous. It's so dangerous that you have to personally reclaim it, right? Is there really such a thing? This is the first time I've heard of it, sweetie. The brief silence just now, she is shaken. Just send it. Detective Sanford, perhaps due to your job, you're obliged to keep silent about this matter. But I'm the lawyer for the case. If you can tell me the truth, it would greatly help us. If you still cannot say it, let me do it for you. This is the thing you came to find here. Where did you get it? Finally. Okay, you beat me. It looks like your investigation alone is almost better than my entire incompetent team. I'm not alone. I have Annie, my best helper. +2, by the way. And thanks to that otaku living in the remote mountain area, well, since you investigated this far, telling you no won't be considered leaking classified information. So Detective Sanford, Sky Shield is the real reason you took on this case, right? You can think in that way. The powerful time bomb that was what Sky Shield intended to use 5 years ago. But luckily we thwarted the terrorist action. However, we couldn't find the bomb and the remote control anywhere. I was also witness to the explosion 5 years ago. I know how much price the police paid to thwart their action. So it wasn't Director Crimson's death that drew you here. It was the reappearance of the remote control, right? Yes. The reappearance of such a dangerous item is a huge problem that we cannot ignore. If the bomb were to detonate in the crowd, the consequences would be unimaginable. Very close to a Saturn 5, and anyway, it's like the war on terror and IoT thingy. And since it's so dangerous, did you find out how it ended up here? Well, just as reported in the news, the remote control was hidden in the parcel and sent from a suburb. The sender has strong counter-surveillance abilities, and we couldn't trace his whereabouts. What? So the brothers are part of like Sky Shield? What is going on? If the police hadn't planted operatives in the courier sorting center, we probably wouldn't have discovered it until now. But if the remote control was found here, what's the bomb? Would you really know how to hit the right point? What? I thought that once we found the remote control, we could easily locate the bomb. However, even after searching everywhere in the center, we didn't find a trace of the bomb. So the threat of the bomb hasn't been eliminated? Not exactly. The remote control is specially made. As long as we have it, theoretically, no one can detonate it. So, Luna Xie, should we hand it over now? Well, of course, Detective Sanford, please take it away. I've been terrified since I got it. What if I accidentally pressed it? You two being so cooperative saves me much trouble, but since you found it during your investigation, it can be considered your evidence. Though you can't have it, I can provide you with a certificate about it. That would be great, thank you so much. To be used as a piece of evidence. Oh, okay, I see. By the way, how much do you know about Sky Shield? I can't say I know nothing, but I'm definitely not as knowledgeable as you. Is that so? Since you've already investigated this far, it doesn't matter if I spill a little bit more. Please tell us more about Sky Shield. Well, after all, it's my job to track them down. You should know that Sky Shield is a large international criminal organization with members all around the world. Yes, I remember it has been existing for over a decade. It mainly operates in Asia, right? Literally Metante Conan, by the way. That's correct. Although Asia is their headquarters, we've also discovered their branches in Europe and America. They're involved in all kinds of illicit activities such as smuggling, drug trafficking, illegal gambling operations, and so on. All are highly profitable illegal activities. Yes, and according to incomplete statistics, Sky Shield had a total revenue of $60 billion last year? $60 billion? Are you crazy? How many zeros are there after the 6? But if that's all, we wouldn't be so concerned about Sky Shield. I've heard about it. It's because of their aggressiveness. Exactly. They not only frequently engage in armed conflict with the military police, but they also have a certain terrorist inclination. To demonstrate power, they even attack civilians. Are you referring to the Cube Stadium explosion in the Republic of Neon a few years ago? Yes, detonating a bomb in the crowd? Only they would do something so inhuman. But what mistake did the audience make? What did they have to do with that? Their purpose was simply to demonstrate power to the Republic of Neon, which had previously destroyed their branch. Such cruel actions were ultimately to preserve their criminal profit chain. Unbelievable. Killing so many innocent people just for profit. Remily White's parents also died in the explosion, right? In a sense, Sky Shield is also Miss White's enemy, but she is unaware of it. Doing such crazy things, but their actions are very covert. We have been working tirelessly to track them down for years. Although we have been eliminating some catches these years, but they are still active out there. Eliminated? Yeah, through years of action, we have successfully eliminated several key high-ranking heads. Are you referring to the leaders? Yeah, there are 7 heads in Sky Shield and they use codenames to address each other. From intercepted telegrams, we learn the names and the ranking of them. They are Kalens, Tuna, Cerberus, Quadrant, Hand, Snowflake, and Trionis. We never heard of any of these names, right? Strange names. Quadrant? And for the 5th ranked Hand, his name refers to the hand, you know, our body part. Perhaps it's because there are 5 fingers on a hand, that's why he is called this name. He's a drug lord active in Southeast Asia and also a vital source of income for Sky Shield. I led a team there and took him down last year. That's impressive. Quadrant. Quadrant. I must have heard this name before. Isn't this the name that appeared in the case I handled a few months ago? Hey, wait. Oh, we don't have this, but this was like the message that was sent, no? With the receipt, or am I mistaken? Oh, we don't have it in our inventory, but yeah, in the receipt there was like a message from like Quadrant to somebody else, I can't remember. And I think it was like addressed to like the brother that sent the parcel. Well, literally that, right? Detective Sanford, could you tell us more about this Quadrant? Why? I have something very important to know. Quadrant is the 4th ranking head, derived from the concept of the quadrant, which has 4 sections. Oh, then Cerberus, it's like the 3rd and so on. We don't know his identity, but we do know that he is the technician. Technician? Detective Sanford, how possible do you think that Quadrant is in this research center? What? Sweetie, you need to think carefully before you speak. How do you get that conclusion? You use the word conclusion instead of information. So I'm right. You're really something. No one informed me about this. Several months ago, I took on a strange case. Someone wanted to send out a postcard to this quadrant. And the postal code is in the postcard referred to here, right? No. And the remote control suddenly appeared, so the center is related to Sky Shield, isn't it? If so, the contents of the torn page that the deputy director ripped off makes sense. Let me guess, the quadrant used the center as a midway place to transfer the remote control, and then Sky Shield can plan the next attack. Impressive. Come on, let me give you some praise. What are you doing? You did impress me by drawing such conclusions, but if you're trying to get more information from me, save it. Huh? Did I say anything about that the center is related to Sky Shield? All things about Quadrant and the attack are just your own judgment, aren't they? What? Okay, Detective Sanford told me nothing. All things are just my own judgment. Yes, of course. Okay then, I'm really going this time. I still have much business to deal with, so I won't go to trial tomorrow. Bye. Okay, setting up like interesting things for the next case, I think. Your conclusion is actually right. Why is Detective Sanford unwilling to tell us? In her stance, it is inappropriate to leak the information to us, who don't belong to the police. She has every right to keep quiet and even to kick us out of the crime scene. However, since she took on the case, she has helped us as much as possible. Stance. There are so many unnecessary things in the adult world, it's really hard to understand. Or politics, when you are like at that level of, hierarchy, dealing with things, whatever your job is, even if you have like a technical job, a pure analyst job, everything becomes politics. There are certain things that you can say, and there are certain things that should not be said, even if you know. It's really like a ruthless and, complicated world. When Annie's a little older, she'll probably get caught up in this so-called adult world. No, she's just coming out of the village and enjoying things she hasn't seen before, so I better not break her fantasy. Well, this is the end of our investigation, so time to go back. As the night fell, we took the last bus and went back to the office. As we expected, the Crimson Ultra-Realistic Robots Research Center is indeed related to Sky Shield. The victim in the murder house case 3 months ago was probably hired by Quadrant to transport items. But who could this Quadrant be? Not Zoe Sapphire, who just came to the center, not Remily White, who had amnesia. So that leaves Mr. Goldstein, Sword in Grey, and the victim, Director Crimson. I'm expecting like Quadrant to be Crimson. Especially because you got like the receipt in like your bin. For some reason, even though I've been involved in a serious case, I feel surprisingly calm. Probably because this is my first time to get so close to Sky Shield. what I'm going to reveal is not just the truth of the murder case, but the real darkness behind this mechanical capital. Very interesting. And then for the most insane cliffhanger in all time, because we don't have the time to do like an entire like trial session. So yeah, I mean, interesting. I think like it's very interesting how like this second part of the case is obviously like pretty straightforward with the mystery. We have been able to solve that immediately, basically. Also because there's just no other solutions. It's very like very linear deduction. But they also want to like spend time setting up like elements for later. So yeah, interesting. And that's basically it. Like for now, I think like the trial will be pretty straightforward just because we have a very good handling on what is happening. But for now, we have a break. We have a 2 weeks break. With like an updated schedule on August. I don't exactly know how it will go. I don't have like much more to say. To be honest, I will miss you. I will be on your streams. Because I will miss you as well. So you know, I almost had the war reading. It will have to wait until like August. We can pad, you know, we can pad this stream. Like we can stay 1 hour here and then you will get your points. But no, like I will be like in vacation. I will be a bit more free, so I'll hang out in your chat like a bit more, May. So you will miss me, but like only like for a while, right? Because I'll still be there. August will be, I've said that already, but like August is kind of like up in the air. I don't exactly know, we won't like stream as much as we did those past weeks. We will kind of like stream maybe like, you know, once per week or maybe even less. It really be very improvised. I might find my way into your DMs after this month. Very, very interesting. I mean, we talked about like doing a collab and I still think we should. So, you know, I have not forgotten about it. So yeah, August will be like a bit weird. You'll be updated on Blue Sky and on the Discord server about like any, you know, shenanigans with the schedule. And this situation will probably last, to be fair, like until I get the 2.0 model. I need to like ask my artist about it. But I know like work has started, like my commission is on work in progress. So soon-ish I will have like a more detailed sketch of the 2.0 model. And until the model has been delivered, we'll be like on a sort of like very casual, relaxed schedule. And, you know, I think it's also good to rest and just to be able to hang out with other people. 2.0, by the way, very, very interesting. I am very, very eager to see how it will turn out. So yeah, I mean, some people got like a very sneaky preview of like the model, and I'm really, really happy about like what it will be. So yeah, that's basically it for me today. I hope that it was funny. I had like fun on this part of like Dragons and of Innocence. I think we have been able to think a lot. I will wish you a wonderful end of July. I hope that you have a lot of fun. I hope that you will be able to rest a lot. I will miss you. I'm always missing streaming to some extent. But I will make sure to really enjoy my break so we can like stream again and I won't be as tired and overworked. So thank you very much for having followed me, you know, kind of like since the beginning. So I will talk to you in other places in the meantime. But that's bye-bye for now. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!